Mix and mastering, right?
You know, she got her makeup videos or her unboxing videos on every now and again. You know,
Paperboy Fave, what up, bro?
what up? What up?
Yo, Fave is a goat, man. Paperboy Fave is like legendary.
What's happening?
A lot of dope records.
Nice. Young Fictionalized in the building. Yo, Triza, you should join Clubhouse.
What's Club? I've been hearing people talk about Clubhouse. I have no idea what it is.
Ever since the Joe Budden episode, everybody talking about Clubhouse.
What is that? I have
it's
no
like a chat.
I'm like,
in my mind, for what I hear, it's like a chat type joint. Like,
shoot.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, I'm with it. Let me see. How do I, send me the info? I don't know what to do. I feel like an old man. What's the MySpace?
Club with that Ace of Club? what that drink? Paperboy Fave. Paperboy Fave. What up? All right, man. So listen, I am in a different part of the studio, the upstairs office portion. That's really my wife's portion, but had a little water pressure issue, and guess where the water pressure valve is? You guessed it, right above my shit, where all my equipment is, right where we do the podcast each and every week. Damn. So I had to relocate with the quickness and all that good stuff, and so that's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's
my god,
bruh. I went and just took a look at it. They cut a big ass hole in my wall, bro.
Oh, I already know.
And they're like, yo, we're plumbing. We don't put that shit back. We just cut the hole and leave it.
Oh, so you got to hire somebody else.
Facts, though.
Oh, my God.
Facts, though. Tax, though. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Owning a home, bro. That's the one part that people, you know what I mean?
Listen, man, for all my homeowners out there, you know what it is. If you don't own a home, just know that the mortgage is just the beginning of your monthly expenses for your house and utilities. Mere pitch posh. Your house will always give you something to pay for. Constantly. Always.
You remember my AC when I'm like, I spent $2,000, I'd be good.
No,
the dude
sir.
came up was like 15. I'm like, oh my God. Oh.
That's a fact. Man, we had to both get HVAC units at the same time.
Bro.
No, matter of fact, yours went out. Mine didn't go out, but I was so scared that I just got one replaced anyway.
Yeah, it was hurt, dog. I'm still sick over that.
Yeah, dog, I still gotta get another one. I got 2 of them Jones. So
Tony Versace, what's popping, bro? Who we got? I see Young Scrap. What up, bro?
Jewel
Scrap
is another. Feel your pain. Yeah.
Scrap is another legend in the game. A lot of big time records.
Man, we killing them. We got some good ass people in here. All right, so man, let's get it started. Just pretend like we played the theme song. Burn, 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 burn.
Imagination setup.
Yay! What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of UnQuantized Podcast. We are your host, the people with no topics this week, but we're gonna get it. I will like to. Oh yeah, this is the show where if you got questions, you should ask.
Just the time.
Oh yeah. Now is the time. But until then, bro, we did get one.
We got a lot of legends. DJ Khalil, man.
Oh, DJ Khalil another in the building. Come on. Damn, we ain't got no air horns this week, man.
Man.
Hey, spam the hearts, y'all. Spam the hearts like you're hitting the air horn for DJ Khalil. And all the big time people in here, man.
Yeah, it's full of goats, man. I like this. That's what's up.
Dang, Goat Farm. I appreciate this. So we did have one question this week, and this was an easy one to answer, and I get to go into a little bit of a story for the sake of time. And the question is, hold on, let me get to it. Name one person who has helped you and you feel needs applause. I'm going to go ahead, take the smart road, the short road, the simple road, and the truthful road. My man Triza, right here. I got to big it up. So, he helps me all the time with a lot of stuff. But yesterday, bro, me and this man were on Zoom for like 4 hours yesterday, going over just everything, click funnels, email flows, just, man, screen share, shawty. We was on so long. We're on Zoom doing stuff. We both hop out of Zoom to hop into another Zoom mastermind meeting. Shout out to Busyworks Beats.
Yeah,
and
Busyworks.
Hopped out of that, hopped back on Zoom and got back to it, bro. Yeah, so that's my guy. No question. Got big big help yesterday, man. I appreciate you, bro.
No, yeah, you gave me some gems too. That was a good little. I was like, we gotta start doing these Zoom sessions more because I learned a lot in that little few hours.
Yeah, we killed it yesterday. We both came out of that a bit smarter.
Did you have, like, as far as production, did you have any like OGs that kind of helped you as far as like production wise?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna say Timberland. Mm-hmm. And just being in the studio is a privilege, and I'm sure anybody would agree to this. It's a privilege just to be in the studio with Tim all the time for months and months on end, and just you get to watch him work every day. You get to see how everything happens. It's amazing, and you get to see how I got to see how the things that I did and contributed were then used, and then became a part of something bigger. So that was dope. Of course, Polo. I'm not gonna front. Polo put me on. So yeah, just a whole lot. I'm gonna just say those two. No mystery there. What about you, sir?
Man, I feel like I had a bunch of people, dog. One of the main ones I say is K-Fam. If you've been in Atlanta, man, you know K-Fam. K-Fam is like OG. He did a lot of Destiny's Child, Boys to Men. Like, he did some records. Like, musically one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life, bro. Like, just genius musically. And when I first moved to Atlanta, he like took me under his wing, let me work in the studio. I learned how to use Pro Tools from him, learned how to cut records. So we had like a good run, man. So, he helped me a lot. Through him, I met B Cox. B Cox taught me a lot of stuff. Who else was like super? I mean, Rico, of course. Rico Love taught me a lot of stuff. So I've had it, man. I've had a bunch of like big influences in my life, production wise, and even like, not even people like Fave, like Paperboy Fave was in here. We was in the same studio for years, bro. So I would pick up stuff from them. You know what I mean? His cousin Rico is a producer. We all would like how me and Oracle do. Like, we always like, all right, I learned how to do this. Teach me something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we would all share back and forth. So for me, it's been a lot of people. Diego taught me so much in the game.
For sure.
Like, up there. Diego's probably in the top, bro. Production-wise, it's taught me a lot of stuff. He's up there, bro.
Yeah.
Of course, young Oracle.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. There's a few engineers in it. Yeah, Chris Godby. I learned a lot from Chris Godby. Even though Chris Godby didn't like straight teach me anything, I guess he just thought we was hanging out together. But I was studying young Chris Godby and Jerome Harmon too. Shout out to Jerome. Missy. Shout out to Missy for sure. And a lot of these people, they taught me a lot, bro.
Oh, I got one more. I can't forget. Young Jay Stevenson.
Oh my God.
Jay's the GOAT, man. I always gotta give Jay credit, man. Jay was like, I feel like when I went from like I was making songs and stuff, but Jay was like really on me about like texture and sonics and like recording and like, just the other intangible stuff that you don't really just learn just being in the studio. You know what I mean? And that's how I ended up meeting Oracle.
That's a fact.
I always got to give Jay his props.
Jay is on both of our lists. Jay is a good motivator.
Oh yeah.
He's a keeper. He's a good friend, and he's a keep it real motivator type of dude. So yeah. Shout out to young Jay Stevens, man, and shout out to Realistic who's in the building.
Hey, Realistic the guy. What's popping, bro?
So we had another question here. This is a good question. I have a simple answer for it, I think. Who makes the final call to say a song is finished? I'm gonna say the person with the masters, and I think off mic, Triza, what'd you say?
Who's paying for the record?
Who's paying for it? That's the person that calls the shots, and that is the person who says when a song is finished. So if you, the producer, are the one paying for it, if you are the ones with the masters, it's your call. But whoever got the masters and whoever got the bread, that's who governs when it's finished or not.
Bro, I don't know. I meant to tell you about this too. On Netflix, it's they have this show called Song Exploder. It was a podcast. I don't know if you ever remember. I think it was Gimlet Media.
I remember the podcast, yeah.
So they got a TV show now, and it's on Netflix. And they got Alicia Keys. It was two other guys I wasn't sure, and then Ty Dolla $ign. I skipped all the other ones, watched the Ty because that one seemed the most interesting to me.
For sure.
And they had this. So basically, he's talking about the song called "LA" that he did, and It's these twin brothers. They're writers named D&D. Well, they changed the name, but they used to be called D&D back in the day. I met them a long time ago in LA, and they talk about how they started the record. Then like they gave the idea to Ty. Ty talks about how he like changed all the elements. He got string players to come in, and the dude is like, "How do you know when it's finished?" And he's just like, "Bruh," he's just like, it's just that feeling when you riding in the car, and he's like, I'll play a pop record and then play my song. I'll play something else on the radio and then play my song. He's like, when everything fits and it can seem like it come afterwards, he's like, that's when it's done.
That's a fact. That's also a good strategy if you're just starting out producing or making songs. When I first started, I used to do that, like make a beat, then like turn on the radio and, you know, just compare back and forth and do that all day. But no, that's a dope strategy. Yeah. Oh, I know a lot of times who says it's finished. The label, when they keep calling the studio like, listen, guys, the song's supposed to be turned in at midnight last night. It's 2 a.m. What's going on? And then they send somebody to the studio. Like somebody walking into the studio is going to change anything. No, it don't. No,
that's real.
It don't.
Bam, still deadlines be good though. Sometimes I need the deadline because if not, I'll keep putting myself in this loop of working on stuff. Yeah, that's why I don't think I've done much like songs for myself. Because I feel like if I'm working on somebody else's project, it's easier for me to look at it differently. But if it's my stuff, I keep like chipping away at it. Like, all right, I can fix this.
Perfectionist.
Yeah. It's not a great thing at all times.
Dog, I'm still working on beats from 09.
That's real.
Yeah, it's a fact. I got one beat. It's the Thanksgiving beat. I just work on it like around Thanksgiving holiday. I do a little bit to it. Yep. I just do a little bit and then wait till next year. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, sir. Thanksgiving beat. But that was a real good question, bro. That was a super dope question. Yep. So I have a Triza question for you. Well, someone has a Triza question. Are you allowed to submit fully complete songs for the Ultimate 3 contest?
Man. Havmon had asked me a question about the Ultimate 3 contest. I said, go for the gusto. And I was like, I don't know if that's the right phrase, but you know what I mean. And we just want to hear good music using those sounds. Yeah. So whatever you think is going to be great, that's what the competition is.
There you go. All gas, no brakes. Get it. That's a fact.
Who would I be to tell people don't put a full song in there? I'm Mr. Hey, go work with a writer, get a full song.
You know? Yeah, so go ahead, do your thing.
I might be more impressed by a full song.
That's a fact.
The rapper ain't or a singer ain't whack. If they whack, then that might ruin you. That's the one thing about having somebody write to your stuff. A great beat with a whack song is still a whack song.
Well, now we're getting into one of the underlying problems with beat leases. And we talk about that a lot. Not saying leasing beats is wrong. Don't put us. We're not going to die on that hill. But when you lease beats, you're gonna get some MC such and suches over your joint.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and you got to live with that, and especially if they shout you out, because you know they got a tendency to put your name in the song just because, especially if your name holds some weight. Yeah, oh, yeah. Shout out to my best friend Triza.
Executive produced this album, bro. I don't know you.
Executive produced this album. Because he got 4 beat leases from you, and it's a 4-song album. So technically, you did it. Triza told me when my album was finished.
Right, that's a true story. That's definitely happened.
Yeah, that will definitely go down. But yeah, so you can submit songs for the Ultimate 3 contest.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And man, if y'all haven't, go get it, man. Did the sample pack with Young Diego. It's going crazy. A lot of people are really, really loving this kid.
Nice, man. So, perfect. All right, well, so we kind of in Plugville.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna go ahead and because I'm super excited. Next week, Realistic and I are putting out something that, bro, this is the most in-depth, the most comprehensive project we've ever put out. You know what? We on the show. I might as well just tell people what it is here. Right on the show. You're here first. We're doing a course. This is the art of vocal mixing. Bro, when I tell you This is some legendary shit, and
bro.
no one in the world has done a course this thorough ever. Bruh, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm trying to tell you.
I've seen it.
You've seen it. Bruh, over 150 videos, over 14 hours. Listen, if you don't know a damn thing about mixing vocals, you will be a legend by the end of this course. Yo, I'm not even lying. Course. It's amazing. So we open up the early bird orders on Monday. You know what I mean? You could go to my bio right now. You can click on it, sign up for the early bird link, and on Monday you'll be able to purchase it. It'll be at a discount. You get a $50 gift card, all that good stuff for the early bird people, because we respect the people that are early adopters. But when I tell you this shit crazy, it's crazy, bro. So shout out to Young Realistic, man.
Young Realistic, yeah, that joint, bro. When we was working on the stuff yesterday, I'm seeing the videos. I'm like, good Lord, there's a lot of videos.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's super easy to understand. And everything from mic placement to how you got to route the chords to the recording chain, and it's even like the vocal chain for like the Kendrick Lamar effect, the Travis Scott effects. Like
that's fine.
So it's thorough. Plus, it comes with PDFs, a free kit, all this good stuff. So you'll learn more about it this coming week. But if you want to be early on the early birds, just hit my bio after the show and just sign up, put yourself on the list.
Yes, sir. Realistic's a good teacher too.
Oh, 100%, bro.
He get it. Because I feel like it's a line between, it's certain people who are like good at teaching, but they make it complicated. They're very technical. And then it's certain people that simplify everything too much. And it's not that nuance of like knowing how to talk to people who don't really know what's going on and talking to the expert. But I feel like Realistic is good at being able to, if he talking to a Mon or somebody who's like a master level engineer, he keep up. And then if you don't know nothing, he's like, oh, this is what it is. It's this. And it's easy to understand. So yeah.
All of that comes across right in this course, man. It's amazing. I can't wait.
I'm happy my dog Realistic about to be out in the A, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, my man moving out
stuff
here.
Clear up.
Yeah, that's a fact. We gotta get up once the once the Ronies is over.
Yeah.
Quintendo says charged up for the course. For sure, man. For sure.
Oh yeah. You gotta get that Quintendo. That's a good one for you.
Yo, 2020 is a cold mistress. I can't wait till we break up with her ass. Good God.
I think that, but then I'm like, what if 2021's worse?
Oh yeah. 21 gonna be savage.
Believe it. Yeah. No Meg Thee Stallion.
No Metro. But
21.
I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, 2021. It ain't gonna come in like a lamb. It's just gonna be more 2020, but hopefully we'll just go down from here, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Have you been seeing this post about I believe it's Cardo? If I'm wrong, please forgive me. But I believe it's a Cardo tweet, and he's talking about how you never throw away any ideas because you hear them later, and it's a completely different thing. How do you feel about that?
Well, my thing is, why not? I mean, why throw them away? It's not like you don't have the hard drive space.
Yeah,
what are you throwing stuff away for? I mean, if anything, you could put it somewhere else, like off to the side. But I'd honestly like to hear people's reasons for throwing away beats, other than you like, yo, this is trash. But what's trash now? 4 years from now, you may be a little bit wiser. You may have better tools. You may just feel different. And there's going to be something in there you like, I'm happy I didn't throw this away. I didn't see the Cardo post, but I've seen a Southside post say something similar. Yeah. I mean, don't throw it away. If anybody in here, if you throw your ideas away, tell us why you throw them away.
At one point I was, but then it's like, what's the point? Now I bounce everything. I have a folder, and then sometimes I just go back through and be like, oh, that wasn't bad. Or especially because we make kits and stuff all the time. It's like, oh, I like the hi-hat pattern. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the melody, but I like the hi-hats.
It's so much useful stuff in the stuff that you might be throwing away. I mean, it could be MIDI, just MIDI in there. Even if you don't like the sounds, or you don't like the sound of what you're doing, like the MIDI that you play, like actually what you play could be cool. It could be used for something else. You just get you a little MIDI ideas folder over in your browser to start tucking stuff away. Like resources, you can never have enough resources. I'll say that.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Life tip: if you put wine in a red cup and you swirl it, it makes it more fancy. Science.
Let me try it. This is not wine.
But you gotta have a pinky out. You got to put the pinky out a little bit.
That's my problem. I'm drinking with my thumb up.
Yeah, that's what it is. The pinky.
By the way, it's a dope ass drink in a red cup. My wife made it, and for some reason, right now, my wife is dressed like Suge Knight. So the red cup makes a lot of sense.
The cup is definitely matching your wife right now.
That's a fact, dog. I'm like, oh, we about to ride? What's going on?
We got beef? Smoke?
Right. Like I got after the podcast, we could ride, but good God.
Let's see. Not current, maybe. I mean, current is kind of relative though, because I mean, a lot is, even if you think about a couple years ago, everything that was out on the radio was a remake of an older song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, depending on what it is, different stuff could work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, things come back, bro.
For the most part, what makes something not current for the most part is drums a lot of the times. Drums to me is what dates something. Like I could tell a beat that's been made in like early 2000 because the drum patterns were different and what sounds they use are different. But music, for the most part, it stays pretty current for the most part. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking anything after 06, 07, melody-wise, you could use it. The only thing about it is prior to that, like you might have, you can't use like the Manny Fresh horns or nothing like that.
And the little the fake Indian loops. Yeah, that was can't use that.
Nah.
But guitars never go out of style. Like pianos never go out of style. Like all that stuff never go away.
And think about this too. Now there are things that will turn audio into MIDI, right? So think about all the things you might have played with a sound that wasn't that cool, but you kind of like what you played, or a sample or something. It might have sounded dated, but the melody was cool. You didn't have that. You might not have had that technology when you got that sound. You know what I'm saying? But now that exists, you could extract the MIDI from it. So just think about things that you have now and just imagine where technology will be years from now and what it will allow you to do with those things that you thought were trash. You know what I mean? All the more reasons to not throw anything away.
Let's see. Fictionalized says, I just doubled the speed of one of my songs and it went from liking it to loving it. Damn. Speed, that can make a big difference.
Good point. Remember the everything was 69 BPM, 65?
Oh, yeah. That was a good little run. Orchestra instruments don't go out of style either. That I'll disagree with.
100%.
Because 100%. If you think about when everybody was using Tiffany's, you remember that? That was like a whole thing.
You gotta really know how to finesse the orchestra stuff, but like just in regular, like it gotta be cool. Okay, like when we did orchestra pit, it was geared towards the sound of today. So it was cool orchestra shit playing the sound of today. But a lot of times, like orchestra samples that you would have got, man, they're gonna be real like Big Fish type joints. You can't use those now.
Yeah,
they just sound cheesy.
Horns are always like weird, bro. Like part of the reason me and Oracle got cool is because I was trying to figure out the horns that Polo was using. Because Polo horns always sounded great to me. It's like I never could figure out how he would get the samples to sound that good. And I was like, as soon as I met Ora, I'm like, bro, please tell me. Please.
Yeah. I'll say, man, shout out to Giga Studio. Giga Studio was before a lot of people's time, but shout out to Giga Studio. Man, I started naming a whole bunch of shit that was before people's time that had sounds in it or could manipulate sound. Like people don't know about Hallion. Hallion was like a contact type joint. Steinberg made Hallion. I think I forgot who made Giga Studio. I want to say it was like Tascam or somebody wild. Like
what was that one that you used to use? It was like contact. It was like pre-contact.
Intact.
Yeah, that joint was fire.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from seeing how you would set those sessions up. Like,
yep.
That was like crazy.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, the way it used to be organized across the keys.
Yeah. I'd never seen nobody the way Oracle organizes samples it's like, I don't want to say it's weird, but I'd never seen anybody do it like that. So I got my hands because Jay gave me some samples one time. He's like, bro, you can't get these to nobody. Only you can use these, right? And I was like, how did you get this? Like you press one key, it'll do one thing. You press the next key, it'll do something else. It's like the same loop, but it would be like a continuation.
Yeah.
Of like, and then they just kept going. I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Bro, whole arrangement laid out just like that. I will say this. When I started sound designing for other people, that was one of the things that attracted them to my service. It's not just the sounds I had. I would actually lay it out in VSTs or on a keyboard, whatever they use, and I would lay it out in my way, which made it easier to make songs.
Right.
And that was part of the allure as to why people kept asking me to do sound design for them. Because it's one thing to just give somebody some sounds. It's another thing to come in, get on their equipment, lay it out, and they don't have to do anything. They just pressing stuff, and they're like, damn, this is a song right here.
That's
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see I see Green, aka Young Scrap. He says textures, sound canvas, and EMU.
Whoa.
I will
Facts.
bring it back.
Yo, first of all, EMU. Woo. Or EMU as they call it.
Didn't they go extinct? No.
Shout out to the emus out there. Yeah.
Let's see. DJ Lonnie says, "Why are these trap producers making pop type beats now?"
Is that the case?
I was gonna say
pop producers making trap beats.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are all these pop artists using trap beats? Trap to me is like pop now. If you go to any of the charts now, if you listen to any of the Spotify, the top records, they're all heavily trap influenced.
Dog. What is not trap influence? Have you checked out a commercial lately? Your AT&T commercial is trapped out. Everything is super trapped out. It's some country shit you can hear is trapped out.
Oh yeah.
The world is trapped out. I
got a homie, and he's a country singer, but he's from Atlanta, and his album is called Trailer Trap. And
that's a dope ass title, I'm not gonna lie.
And going crazy in the country world. You know what I mean? Did you see Juicy J? They had used a 3-6 Mafia sample in the Harvest commercial. Oh, I'm like, yo, he's about to eat, dog. Like he's about to be rich. I mean, richer than what he already is.
Juicy J has the meats. He got them now.
He's another one that I feel like don't get as much respect as he should. Like Juicy J is like a legend, bro. Like production wise and rapper wise.
Yeah.
He's like up there, bro. I mean, I think people think it's like simple.
No.
But it's difficult to be simple. You know what I mean? Like that. Like Lil Jon is the same way. Like to me, it's like it's difficult to make such simple beats like that work and they like hit like that. You know what I mean? It's like an art to that.
Yeah. And it's an art to having a simple style. Not only is Juicy J style simple, and we talking production and rapping, it's been the same for like 20 years.
And still work.
So he developed a simple style decades ago that it stood the test of time. And to this day, Juicy J is amazing with the production and rapping. And tell me this, if you listen to a song and Juicy J come on rapping, you automatically just feel better. Automatically.
Project Pat is the same way.
Yes.
Project Pat cannot drop a song for 10 years and he put one verse out. I'm like, yes, it's the greatest thing ever.
On it.
Yeah.
On it, bro. Yeah.
Like, you got to think, I heard that he made, what was that right? Oh, Slap on My Knob. He made that in high school. Juicy J is an older guy. Yep. He's closer to 40 probably, I'm guessing.
50 something, if I had to guess.
He's up there and made this in high school. And that song still rings out in the clubs, and everybody knows that record now. That's a hard thing to do. Like, and if you listen to the beat sounds current. It sounds like something that will come out now.
Some people just got their natural bop is just good. Some people, and that's a gift. That's a straight up gift. Like some people's natural bop just stands the test of time and will forever. And Juicy J is one of them people. Tim is one of them people. Too. Some people just got a natural thing that's just gonna work all the time.
Let me know if this is far off. I feel like Juicy J is to production like how Gucci Mane is to rap.
I'm not gonna say it's far off, but I'm gonna ask you to elaborate.
So Gucci, like very simplistic style, but influenced so many people. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
And like people like how they record came from Gucci. Like, you know what I mean? Like all these little nuances come from Gucci Mane. It to where certain people at the beginning was like, yeah, this is. I remember hearing people talk about Gucci in high school and like it was like so bad. And I always loved Gucci records. And then it's like now you see the influence from Young Thug to Migos and all of that stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I feel like the same thing is with like Juicy J. You hear all the influence of production of how Juicy J and Bone Collector, they make beats. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that journey is like everybody has that style now. You know what I mean? It's like everybody has a little bit of that 3 6 Mafia influence to them.
Yeah. Damn, shout out to 3 6. I was late. It took me a while, man. My man tried to put me on the 3 6 way back in the day, and UGK. And it wasn't until years later I had lost touch with my homie, but I always wanted to thank him. My homie Tony, he was big on UGK and 3 6, and I was sleeping. Bro.
Riding Spinners came out, bro. You couldn't tell me nothing. Bro, that was
Listen, look, Dad, we have a music appreciation day right here,
bro. I love 3 6, dog. Like I was that guy. That was like my go-to.
Okay, Triza, I'm gonna read this comment and I'm gonna ask you to react. Nah, Swizz Beats is the Gucci Mane of music production.
I don't think I agree with that one.
I don't either. I don't either. But I just that's jarring. I don't see it. I don't see it.
The reason why I don't see it is because I don't feel like Swizz, as great as Swizz is, please don't take it. I'm saying
100%.
anything bad about Swizz. Swizz is OG legend, triple status, OG type flight security of the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hear people making Swizz type beats like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When I hear, like with Gucci Mane, you could hear the Gucci Mane influence on people now. Like you could hear how people rap like Gucci and they record like Gucci. I don't hear many people making beats like Swizz do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was now I will say it was a few producers in New York back in the Rough Rider
what's
time.
His name? God, what was his name, bro? I could see his face. I can't think his name.
I think you're about to say something crazy. Are you talking about that made beats like Swizz?
Yes, I can't think it.
Are you about to say Dame? Are you about to say Dame Grease?
No, not Dame Grease. Okay. Is another one.
Because I was say Dame Grease.
Golly, I can't think of it.
I'll use that term loosely. Taught Swizz, but
Jalil Beats got some Swizz. But I don't. When I think of like the forefront of music, I don't think about Jalil Beats. Not again, not trying to diss Jalil Beats. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't think of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same dude said, okay, think about the whole early ATL sound, bro.
No.
What,
as far as like with Swizz? No. Nothing about the early ATL sound was Swizz Beats related at all.
Yeah. Swizz had the most. He's kind of like how Tim was in a way. Like Swizz would use stuff and you'd be like, bro, how does this make sense? Yeah. But it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would be like Swizz got like random bells that don't feel like it's in key, but for some reason it worked. You know what I mean?
Swizz will have the referee whistles with some yelling, with something, and you just like anybody else would not have pulled this off. And Swizz pulled it off. And not only did he pull it off, it was a hit every time. Hit after hit after hit. And technically, if you listen to it and you're a producer and you break it down, it wasn't supposed to work.
Right.
A lot of that stuff, you like, I don't even know how that worked, but man, it worked. And to this day, you put those songs on and people gonna lose their mind.
And I know Swizz lived in Atlanta for a while, so he got some Atlanta influence. Mm-hmm. But like, okay, he said you need to go back and listen to Band from TV. I get you're hearing horns and you're thinking Atlanta, but the bounce, all of that
drum
other stuff,
patterns.
Yeah, that's not the same. That's not Atlanta. If you trying to say like early Atlanta, you got to talk about Toomp. You got to talk about Collie Park. You got to talk about those guys. Those are really who like influence early Atlanta stuff. Yeah. Cybersap, you know what I mean? Like those are the people who made those records.
Yeah.
I feel like we could speak on Atlanta music. You know, we've been out here for a minute. We've been out here.
And even before we were out here, we were still studying it.
Yeah, but it's to me it's different. Swizz, I mean, again, if you talk about New York music, I can see it.
100%.
Yeah.
I would even say like some Ron Browse type people. They were influenced by Swizz. You know who was like and then we're gonna get off Swizz Beats appreciation time. But you know who was like Swizz Beats, just like Alter Ego 2.0 Swizz Beats? A-Rap.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's real.
A-Rap. And shout out to Neo. It was a producer named Neo.
That's who I was trying to think of, bro. That's who I was trying to think of. Neo the Matrix.
Yeah, when I was up there at Rough Riders, Neo, he was there already, but I think he got there like right before I did. But yeah, Neo was definitely like young Swizz for sure. Shout out to Neo.
That's exactly what I was trying to think of. I could see his face, but I couldn't, because I had a scratch magazine and he was like, bro, my whole room when I was like growing up, I would buy 2 scratch magazines, one to cut up and one to keep. Right. For sure. And then I know Neo the Matrix was right here to my keyboard. I can remember that. So that's why I was like, I could see his face, but I couldn't remember what his name was.
It was young Neo. And that's around the time, I'm gonna date it. It was around the time when the MPC 4000 first came out, because I had 2. Just before I had 2. Neo had one and Swizz had one. And we kind of bonded over that. Yeah.
See, Quintino said he said his bounce was ATL, Swizz did. Here's what I would apply that to, right? It's like if I was to listen to Afrobeat and try to make an Afrobeat record, I could get the bounce and it's like, it's close, but it ain't the same. Someone from Africa is going to get that Afrobeat, and it's going to be different. It's a pocket that you're not going to understand unless you live that life. And to me, Swizz joint never was the true ATL bounce. To me, it won't. I might be wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's the difference between authentic Asian cuisine and Panda Express.
That's what I'm saying. Swizz's joint got the influence. You can hear the influence. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it was jamming, but it won't Atlanta. Like when you hear, I heard somebody say Shawty Red. That's Atlanta, bro.
That is super Atlanta.
That's Atlanta.
Okay. I'm gonna break it down so it can forever be broke. Because now I'm remembering Swizz said this on something I was watching. He was down here in Atlanta and he was hearing the HBCU bands. And he applied what he heard in the HBCU bands. He's like, I could do that in production. So that's a weak kind of connection, but that is a connection. He did say that he patterned his stuff after Southern ATL HBCUs. Yeah.
The same thing he said. So y'all don't see how Swizz influenced the crunk sound. Crunk, no. Little John influenced the crunk sound. Bruh. Little John created crunk. Like if you go credit anybody, it's gonna be Little John. I'm curious, where are you from?
Ooh, good question. Yo, shout out to Demand Nation. Demand Nation's in here.
Hey, Young Demand, what up, bro?
Young DJ Demand, what it is. And he said, Demand said something. Not at all. He just sounded like Swizz. I don't know who he was talking about, but
Jalil, I think he was talking about. Yeah, I'm curious to know where he's from, bruh. I'm a crunk music aficionado.
Oh, that's
I'm
that's
a
your
crunk
shit right
music
there.
historian, bro. When I say that was I love that era of music.
Yeah,
I moved to Atlanta because of the crunk music.
Wait, MJ Swan Jace, he got a good point. In New York, it was all about who got the sound modules first. That is a fact.
No, that's real.
That is a super fact. It was like that in New York music. It was like that in R&B. New York hip hop and R&B shared a lot. Like in R&B in the 90s, it was all about who got them modules first, bro. Who got the JV 2080 first. You're gonna have people like Devontae and all, like people's gonna jump on it. I mean, I know Tim back in the day was, JV and Proteus and all them popular modules, but it was about who got it first. Yeah.
He said he's from New York, but moved to ATL at 16. I'm 25 now.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit older than you. I feel like I get it. I see where you're coming from with the Swizz thing, but I still don't. When it comes to crunk, when I think of crunk, I think of Little John. I think of who else was super big in that whole crunk movement. I'm trying to think. To me, when I think of crunk, I think of Little John, bro. I don't think of anybody else besides Little John. I'm sure there's other people in there.
Yeah. Oh, you know who else I got to give it? Just since we talking about ATL producers, kind of David Banner, man.
Oh, well, he Mississippi, but close
well, true.
Yeah.
You're right. Southern still. Southern.
He had some joints, bro. Like he was like pioneer on. He had a different sound. Ooh, Pastor Troy. Who was producing Pastor Troy stuff? That's a good question.
I don't know. That is a good question.
But vice versa, bro, you play vice versa right now. Somebody about to get slapped. It's going down. Yeah.
Play all we cutting.
Oh, right. I ain't gonna front. I think, are you trolling? He said, I think Busta was a big influence on Crunk.
I'm done.
You're trolling, bro. You're trolling.
I'm done with this guy.
Either you're trolling or you don't understand what Crunk music was.
Cut him off. No more tequila for him. Cut him off.
No more tequila. None, bro. You're done. As I pour more wine.
Yo, I feel like I can have a good back and forth like argument talk with him like I be doing with DJ MacGyver. Because DJ MacGyver be saying some off the wall shit. I'd be like, what, bro?
Okay, here's what I want from you, my guy. Name your top 3 Crunk songs. Because I'm guessing what you're gonna name isn't Crunk songs. When I think of Crunk, I think of Get on My Level. Never Scared. You know what I mean? Even if you want to throw Nuck If You Buck in there, it's Crunk-ish, but it was a little past that era. That was like more of the Franchise Boys era, and that kind of the Snappish.
Yeah, that was end of Crunk. That was getting to the 06, 07, coming up.
But Crunk was a thing. Crunk is like gasoline can, A-Town stomping. Like that was like a thing, bro. And when I think of that, I don't think of anything with Busta Rhymes at all.
Not at all. Not at all. So while we wait for him to name his 3 favorite Crunk songs, let's get to the chat. I'm pretty sure this chat is kind of crazy right now.
We'll see. The Lab 712 says he produced Pastor Troy produced that himself, and then Drummer Boy started producing some stuff for Troy. Yeah. Drummer Boy is a legend. And then the fact that Pastor Troy produced some of the stuff, legend. Yeah,
facts.
He said, "Get Low and Get Low remix." Bro, get out of here.
Bro, listen.
No.
I appreciate, it takes somebody with no avatar to get you into these types of situations. You're always a faceless person is going to get you into these situations. My man is on his burner account having a ball.
You're trolling. He over here laughing like, I got him.
He started that burner account this morning. He lighting that thing up.
Get Low and Get Low remix. If Busta Rhymes on the remix, cool. But that's what labels do. That they pick the bigger artists. The other artist is big to get it into different. Think about Mims. This Is Why I'm Hot. That's like saying that's a Crunk song. No, that's not a Crunk song, bro. Like it was the same era. It was just I'm gonna put a bunch of people on here to get the exposure.
Yeah. I'm trying not to say it's because you're from New York. I'm trying not to say it's because you're from New York.
I can't believe he tried that way.
Nah, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it's because you're from New York. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for New York producers. I got my break in New York because I was making that type of sound. So I got nothing but respect for New York producers. But yeah, you tripping, bro. You tripping. Man. But it's fun. I'm having a good time with you, man.
Yeah, keep them coming. This is hot takes. I like it.
Yeah, facts.
Let's see.
Yeah,
y'all remember Miracle? Boy, do I. And what's the other one? JT Money?
Oh my God, JT Money.
Y'all ain't ready. I always get them confused. I always get JT Money and Miracle confused for some reason.
Man, listen.
I think they look alike. I can't remember. I feel like they both are like bald-headed guys. Anyway,
I ain't gonna lie, I sounded halfway racist. They both had on gold chains. I thought they were the same person.
Yeah, close enough. And they kind of sounded alike.
I'm crying. All right. So we got a question. When collaborating, do you focus on loop making, writing full songs with a songwriter, or full beat production, or another? I'm gonna go ahead and say it depends on who you're collaborating with.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, it's definitely who you're collaborating with, and you focus. You kind of just play to each other's strengths, and it's funny because when I collaborate with people, like the goal kind of just becomes evident naturally. Mm-hmm. Like with some people, like me and Tech, we'll collaborate and we'll just make a bunch of ideas. We'll make like 10, 15 ideas, and then we'll go back and then he'll do something, and I'll do something. You know, we kind of build on it over time.
Right.
And there's certain other people, I'll just work on one thing, and we'll just finish the whole thing. You know what I mean? But mostly with songwriters, I do the I like to do ideas with songwriters, because post-production with lyrics on it, oh, that's the most fun thing in the world to do, bro. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that to me that's the fun part, is when it's already a song there.
Yeah. Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, I think too, you just got to play to whatever people's strong points is, because I feel like I co-produce differently depending on who I'm with. Right? If me and Oracle are co-producing, a lot of times Oracle will start the idea. He'll have a loop or something where I'm like, okay, cool, and I'm playing the guy who was like, all right, I like this idea, but let's take this part, and then I'll do maybe the 808s and Oracle will do the drums. You know what I mean? If I'm collabing with Diego, a lot of times I'm doing the music and then Diego's doing the drums. So it's like weird. It just depends on who the person is and whatever our strong suits are.
But isn't it funny how, like, you never really discuss it with the person. It just becomes evident over time during the collab. Like, it becomes evident immediately when you collab with somebody. Like, I don't know. You could just tell what each other's strong points are. Now, have you ever collabed with somebody and both of y'all had the same strengths and weaknesses?
Doesn't turn out. I mean, it's cool. I've had sessions where it turned out good, but for the most part, it's always when somebody else is better at something different than I am.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me and you are like kind of the opposites in a lot of stuff, like business. Like, I feel like in business, the stuff that you normally don't gravitate to is the stuff I gravitate to, and the stuff that I is like vice versa.
That's why yesterday was so epic. Yeah.
Like design stuff and all that stuff, like art and all that stuff. That's my go-to. But structure and like organization and that part, I had to learn. I had to work towards it. So that's why I think me and you work really good together, because it's like, that's your strong suit. That's your shit. Like, yeah, you could come up with a plan and be like, oh, this is how you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
and
then
you're gonna make it look and feel like, damn, that's the shit. Like,
it worked every time. Same with Diego. I feel like Diego is like, he's a good overall guy. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm just the starter guy. That's what music is like. I've always been the guy who's like, let's start something. Yeah. This is the idea I got. And then y'all take it and finish it and make it something greater. You know what I mean? So that's what I would look at.
Facts.
Let's see. Hold on. We were managing Mims at one point. Yeah. Okay. Shout out. God, what's their name? Blackout Music. They produced a lot of them records, bro. They were cold, dog. At that time, bro, they were killing. Up Top Crunk Music. I remember they did that joint.
That's fire. Shout out to Cosign and 2. Shout out to the interns. They did whatever Mim's second single was. After This Is Why I'm Hot, I forgot what it was, but they did that, and that's how the interns got on from Mims. No. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yep. Shout out to Cosign and 2, and who've gone on to do just amazing number one record here. Rihanna number one, Nicki Minaj number ones, whole bunch of number ones. 2 is like God A&R over there at Def Jam and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, it all started from Mims.
Yep. Hey, and shout out to Mims, dog, because a lot of people, once they done with rap, they fall off. Mims got into tech and doing his damn thing, bro. He out here, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I watched, but it was a whole like episode about how he learned like the tech, got into the app space and started doing that. Got VC capital, bro. Like, he going crazy, dog. Like, he's really out here doing it.
That's fire. He doing it like the good member of Pretty Ricky, not the
one.
This is not the current topic show, but that was crazy.
Yo, if you got a PPE loan, don't buy a car. That's rule number one. Don't buy anything that is not business related.
Not a Ferrari? I can't get a Ferrari with my
And even if you buy a car, like, you only can take that thing to the, like, for work. Like, a Lambo is not going my dog's, bro, I don't know how he got 24 million, dog. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How did you get that much money?
Was that the number? I didn't know what number he got.
Bro,
is that the number?
He got 24 million from PPE. I don't know what you did to get that, But that's a whole heap of money.
Damn, dog. If I didn't mind jail, I'd say I'm in the wrong business. But I'm allergic to jail, so no, thank you.
That's facts.
Yeah.
MK Got Beat says that J Park track you did with Diego with some gas, Triza, really good sound, production, low key single, Brazilian percussion is perfect. Yo, I love Valley Funk.
100%.
That was my influence. It was some Valley Funk, and it was one of those records of I had no idea that it was gonna go to him. Like when I made it, I had no idea that I was gonna. You ever make a beat and you be like, oh, that's cool, and then somebody else is like, that's the one. That's the one.
Always. You never know. And when you make a beat, you be having so many people in mind. Now, you don't be thinking that, first of all, this beat might not get picked up until like a year, 2 years later. The people that you're thinking about might not even be around at the time, but somebody's going to be around and they're going to kill it.
Yeah, that was one of the ones, bro. I remember I played it for Diego. Diego was like, bro, this is the one of the ones. And we had it for like a year, and he was like, yo, it's going to get placed, dog. I believe in this record. And then all of a sudden, got a single on J Park, man. So that
is. Cross the
cool
pond. Yes, sir.
Let's see. He said, I got Rodney Jerkins' first production contract on file. I framed that mug.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Observed Music says, how do y'all deal with any anxiety that occurs with emerging or ongoing projects and management of them? I will say this. Instead of dealing with anxiety, and I guess we can get to that too, I choose to try to mitigate the anxiety. I choose to try to not have the anxiety come upon me. And when it comes to project management, that's actually easier to do than most things, because if you got a plan and you got a calendar, that will eliminate 70% of your anxiety. Actually, the only things that should really give you anxiety are the few unknown things. But when you got a project and you got a calendar, and okay, I'm gonna just go through my thing. This is how I do it. Triza, you already know this. You have a project, you have a goal, you have an end date. All right. So the goal and the end date go together. Boom, right there on the calendar. You look at that goal and you just think, what does it take to accomplish this goal? And you break it down into steps. And you'll be like, all right, I got to do this. But you'll see, like, prior to doing that thing, you'll need to do this thing. And you'll just backtrack, just go backwards. Right. And before you know it, if you do it right, from the day that you're in right now, you'll know what you need to start doing to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And you'll know the day that you're supposed to do it on. And you got to finish it, because the next day or 3 days later or whatever, you got to have this next thing done. And if you just do it like that, start with the goal, start with the end date, break it down into steps, like literal steps. Don't just be like, well, for me to get a placement, I got to get cool with somebody that's on. That's not a step. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to break it down to its most elemental form. And then you'll realize the thing that you said was only 4 steps is actually 52 steps. So how many days you got? How many things can you do in a day? Then you get with your calendar, you map it out. Boom, man. Now you'll never be like, what am I supposed to be doing? You'll know what you're supposed to be doing every single day. And if you do everything that you wrote down, barring the unknown, when that final day arrives, you will have accomplished your goal. And it wasn't such a big thing because you broke it down into steps and you saw it way out. And that's how you deal with the anxiety of project management.
Bro, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I got it from Oracle, is like that. It's like stuff that I knew, but I never seen anybody like accomplishing it. Like, I never witnessed anybody like, oh, this is how you write your goals and then work backwards. And bro, once I learned that, bro, that shit made a game changer. Everything that I do now, I'll sit there for days like, all right, plan this out. All right, work backwards. Okay, I didn't think about this step. Let me add this in here. And I'll plan for days before I even do anything towards the goal.
That's the thing. And you gotta put, I'm not saying write it down, even though writing is cool. You gotta put it somewhere, broken down into the steps with the dates. Because how many times have you heard somebody with a goal and they just say, oh, all I gotta do is this, that, and this. And it's 4 things. And I immediately, when people say that, I don't know their whole situation, but I already have that thing broken down into 24 steps. And I'm like, bro, you forgetting about this, You're forgetting about that. Like, it's not as easy as you think. And when you one of those, I got it all up here type people, you don't.
Oh yeah.
I promise you don't. And I promise you, your goal is we had to push it back. You're gonna stay pushing shit back because you got it all up here and it's only 4 steps, but you're not accomplishing them 4 steps because you're just not really serious enough. You gotta be laser focused about it.
Yeah, no, that's real shit, bro. Real shit.
Real life.
Let's see. Ultimate 3 is fire, and I can't wait for the new vocal mixing course coming soon. Y'all killing them.
Come on, man. Listen, we are here to serve. We are here to serve the people. Like we used to say this in the beginning, man. We don't work for companies. We don't work for bosses. We work for y'all. If you think about it, man, we are in the public service industry.
First, shout out to the GOAT, young Real Smitty. Shout out to the homie.
Come on, the Real Smitty's in here.
Yeah. And he of course he gives a bar. Smitty is one of the people. I've only been around him select few times, but every time it's been one of them like, oh, I've learned something from this, from this dude. So
always.
He says, find a routine, build a system. That's a bar, bro.
That's
bars.
Come on.
That's bars.
Exactly. Man, if you think about it, a lot of things in life they're formulaic. Things can be broken down into formulas. And if you can get a good formula on something, a formula can be duplicated, a formula can be tweaked. You know what I mean? Like, think about, I'm what comes to mind off the rip. This is a terrible example, but something like vitamin water. It's a formula to make a vitamin water, but you can tweak it and you can come out with different flavors, but it's still the same formula. You did like, and now you have a system and now you have a whole line of things. So yeah, Smitty, you killed it right there. You killed it.
Yeah, bro, all of this stuff, man, it's just like, I feel like I get anxious when I feel overwhelmed. When it's like, that's why we talk about like to-do lists and all that stuff so much, because it's like if I could just look at my to-do list and it's like I got 5 things to do and it gets me a step closer to my goal, I don't feel as anxious anymore. When I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I got to do all of this stuff at once, that's when it's like I start being like, oh, bro, this is too much. You know what I mean? But I feel like the way we got it set up is that we only see the next step. It's like you look at the overview and then it's like, if you check your phone on the daily, we check one thing and it's only the next step to get to that next thing.
You don't even have to pay attention to the goal anymore if you break down your steps right. Yeah, you're just going to accomplish it if you do what you got to do. So Smitty further elaborates on the gym. A system will keep you consistent. You just have to have the discipline to execute. Now that is the bar of bars, because listen, a lot of things, especially in this business, you could consider this an informal business for the most part. Like we're into cool business. No matter if you listen to this podcast, you do something cool, whether you write, rap, produce, sound design, whatever. It's something cool and it's very informal. And when you're in informal businesses and around informal people, it's discipline is not preached, nor is it practiced a lot around you. So you have to have internal discipline. It's like coming from high school, going to college. In high school, your parents might have made you wake up and, you get in trouble and they call your house when you're not in class. You go to college, man, don't nobody care. You ain't got to do nothing.
Good luck.
That's what this business is. And you have to have a high level of discipline to be a high achiever, especially off the break. And a lot of people ask me like, yo, why do you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because it's a discipline. I don't have to. But if I can force myself to do that every day, well, it's a habit now, but it just puts you in that mindset of having the discipline to do certain things. You get up and you work out, all these things that you don't have to do. If you do them on a consistent basis, you build discipline, and then you can build that towards your work. Because if you do like what we do, man, you can wake up every day, you can play video games, you can watch TV, you can just chill, hang out. You ain't gotta do nothing. Bro, for real, damn
little life.
Yeah, it'll catch up to you eventually, depending on how much padding and margins you got going on. But eventually, it's going to catch up to you. But if you have that discipline, no matter what, whether you dead broke or a millionaire, especially if you're closer to the millionaire status, that's when it's harder to maintain discipline. That's when you need it the most. So, Smitty, you further elaborated on the bar. You definitely need the discipline to execute all that.
My homeboy, I got a homeboy, bro, and like it's crazy. I grew up with him, like I know him since like high school. He like lost 100 pounds, like did all kinds of like crazy stuff. And his whole thing is 1% better each day. Like if I could do 1% each day, because people think of like, 1% ain't much, but in a year, that's 365% increase. You know what I'm saying? So if you could do one thing to get you towards your goal each day, then you're way ahead of most people. Most people ain't doing shit towards their goal. So if you have a plan for it, and then you could do them step by step by step, even if it's going to take you longer than it's always going to be longer than what you expect for the most part, especially when you first do it. But as long as you're chipping away at it, you in there. Like you're getting hella shit done. So that's the way I look at it, bro. To-do list is like my best friend. That keeps the anxiety away.
Yeah.
Project management tools.
Yep. And people that will hold you accountable or at least are invested. Like, like you got to have people around you to have discipline. You got to have people around you that will keep going, because sometimes you're not going to feel like it. But if you look to your right and you look to your left and your people is really out there getting it, you're like, man, let me get my shit together.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go. It's times I won't. I try to be like I try to be the most disciplined person I know. But I mean, when you're human, you're going to slip. Some days you ain't feeling it. But then I'll look at Triza, or I'll, just look at certain other people. I'm like, come on, my man's over there working. I should be working.
That's how it be, bro. Or it could be like, I just did this. I'm like, all right, shit, let me get up and do something. Then I'll be doing something. He'd be like, all right, let me get up and do something.
That's a fact.
It's just always a flow. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to have good people around you.
And we got the goal, man. We got the goal for this year, bro.
Oh, yeah.
we go be finished.
Oracle's my bro for life, dog. Because it could be easily that we could be jealous of each other because we do the same thing. We're in the same business, right? 100%. We could have easily start like trying to compete against each other. But instead, it's like, I'm going to help you get to your goal. And if, and then you give me some advice back. And it just works, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Two totally separate business, but we all eat off of this. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not directly, I'm not involved with the course at all, right? I didn't do anything towards it, right? But in the long run, it still helps me. You know what I'm saying? Facts. And then if I do something good, it helps Oracle in the long run. So it's like, it might as well. Let's get the best out of it. You know what I mean?
Facts. And how will we look? Because people see us together all the time, and we talk about stuff all the time. How will it look like if you just constantly doing, getting it? And I'm just like, man, I don't know. I ain't trying. Like that shit don't match. You can't. That's the thing about being disciplined. You have to hang around other disciplined people, or else you're just not. It's no way you're gonna have a highly motivated, highly disciplined person hanging with sloths and shit like that. Right. It's just not gonna match. So that's another way for you to like test your character, because disciplined people and people that's getting it, they're not gonna want to be around you. So if you look around and all your disciplined friends just start falling off, chances are that you're falling off. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. See, okay. Beats Music got a good question. He says, in this crazy year, I've seen a lot of people dealing with mental health issues. My question is, what advice, tips, and activities would you guys give to make sure you're in a good mental space these days?
Man, the first piece of advice I would give is reduce your social media time.
That's right.
And everybody knows, it's nothing new. It's nothing that you haven't heard a million times. But if you think about, like in the beginning of the question, it was based on the times that we're in. And one of the pluses or minuses of the times that we're in is people have more time on their hands because it's less to do outside. Therefore, it's more time to be on social media. And I don't know about you. I'll be honest. I haven't really been on Instagram and a whole bunch of stuff like that real heavy for the last couple of weeks. And I feel better. I get on social media. If I'm on social media constantly, it starts to depress me.
That's real.
And a lot of people they'll get depressed because they'll see people doing things and they're not really doing anything. I'm okay. I'm doing great. And it will still depress me. It's just something about it psychologically. If you just too much of that.
Right.
So that my first tip would be just reduce your social media intake for real. Except for UnQuantized podcast, because we motivate you here
every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Facts. Also, man, it goes back to what we were just talking about. Like, have people that are like-minded. Have people that you could talk to, because a lot of times people don't talk to people. You text people, you DM people, and that is cool. But have people that you could reach out to on the horn and really like talk to. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, be a human being. It's one thing to text, and that's cool. It's communication. If it's all you got, then by all means keep doing it. But be as much of a human being as possible. And humans communicate verbally. You know what I mean? If you could FaceTime with somebody, that's being even more of a human being, because now it's facial expressions involved, it's inflection involved. And these may seem like simple and very small things, but a lot of that can just ease your fatigue, because a lot of alone time, nobody's mind is 100% like disciplined. You gotta run your mind. You can't let your mind run you. And that's easier said than done, but you need somebody that you could talk shit out with. Because if I say this, if you spent 2-3 years by yourself and you think you got it all together and you all in your mind, when you come out and start talking to other people, you'll realize that you damn near went crazy in that 2-3 years. And the shit that you start thinking and coming up with gradually, it's just not going to be it. So interact with people on a human level for sure.
And then I don't know what the exact phrase is, but it's like have a hobby that makes you money. Have a hobby that, this like fitness. Like if y'all see, I'll be on a skateboard, I'll be on a bike. Like I'm always outside doing one or the other, right? And it's just because it's something different. I enjoy doing it. It's something different. So it gets me, if I'm not feeling music, I'm on the skateboard, I'm on the bike, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then during that time, it gives me time to collect my thoughts, get new ideas. And then I come back and I make music. It's like, cool. And then it's like, all right, I got a hobby that I make money off of, which would be like stocks or like Facebook ads. You know what I mean? And so it's like they all kind of feed into each other. But I think when you're all invested in one thing, like at one point in my life, only thing I did was the studio. And that's it. And I was stressed out because I'm always thinking about that one thing. And I didn't have an escape to get away from that one thing. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like all the time I'm like, oh, I got to do this. I got to change this snare. I need to bounce this. I need to do this. And I wouldn't sleep good. Like any of that. Now, bro, I be knock you fuck out, bro.
Sleeping like a baby.
Chilling, dog. Because it's like, all right, cool. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to do 20 miles on the bike, come back, I'm going to make some beats, and then I'm going to take care of business,
That's a fact. And you talked about something very important. And before I get into it, somebody else said it. And I don't know why I'm laughing, but Dr. Love X says, drink more water, go outside, and get more sleep. I don't know why I'm laughing because Dr. Love said that, but 100% right, bro. 100% right. Get more. First of all, definitely drink more water. As Triza said, go outside. First thing I do in the morning when I wake up, I drink a whole bunch of water and then I go outside. It's still dark out. I still go outside and get it in. But the sleep part, bro. People sleep on that because we in a culture. I haven't seen a whole bunch of like team no sleep shit in a minute, but that
shit is stupid.
Just staying up and running yourself ragged, like, nah, that ain't the move. Like, you are far more effective, you're far more focused, and you're of more use to the rest of the world when you're well rested. I don't care who you are, unless you got something that is like time sensitive. Sometimes you got to stay up and you got to crunch because shit is happening. But for the most part, if you don't got to, man. So yesterday, both of us were talking. So we were on the Zoom all day yesterday. Then we talked again last night. And both of us reached that point and we called it like, yo, I'm at the point where I'm about to start making mistakes.
Yeah, it's time to cut it off.
Yeah. Listen, man, if you've been up since 10 and it's now 4 a.m, you are way more mistake prone. Unless you done took some naps during the day, you're more mistake prone. Therefore, you sabotaging yourself now. And if you're collaborating or working with other people, you're of no use to them.
You're not giving your best effort.
Yeah, go and get you some sleep, bro. Yeah.
No, that's real shit. Because, bro, it was at the point I'm on the phone with Oracle, I'm messing up. I'm like, oh, this is time to cut it off, dog.
Both of you thought you deleted something. I went and I fixed something, but I fixed it on the wrong thing. I'm like, dog, it's over.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to cut it.
Yeah,
but that fresh mind, bro. That's why I make beats in the morning, dog. I'd much rather wake up early in the morning and make beats than to stay up hella late and make beats every time, dog. And I've always been like that. When I was at Doppler, bro, when we would go to the studio, I would pick the early times.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Nobody would be in the studio, bro. I would pick 11 in the morning to like 8 at night, bro. That
was there at noon, bro.
Bro, and I would be so like perfect, dog. Like my mind is fresh. I haven't been stressed out through the day. You know what I mean? So it's like I had all these great ideas.
Yep.
Just go in there, and then at night I would chill, do the regular stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always say in the morning too, like if you have a problem at night and you can't figure something out, just take a nap or go to sleep for the night. When you wake up in the morning, go right back to it. And 8 times out of 10 for me, like the solution comes to me immediately after I wake up. Like, oh shit, all I had to do was this, that, boom,
Right.
solved. If I would have kept trying to fix the problem at 4 in the morning, by 7 in the morning, I wouldn't have been no better.
Right.
But yeah, you get some sleep, you wake up again, rocking. The answers and solutions just start falling out of the sky because you were making stupid mistakes at 4. They weren't complex mistakes; they were dumb mistakes. So that's why they're so easy to fix after you have some sleep.
Steve Maddox says success is a mindset, bro. Big facts.
Yes. Yes.
I remember at one point in my life, I had never really made any significant amount of money. Like, I grew up, you know, super humble beginnings, you know, same story that a lot of people have, right? And Tony Robbins Unleashed the Power Within, right? Somebody told me about that. I read it, and I made, in that same 3 days, maybe afterwards, I made $5,000. And I was like, what the hell? But it made me think differently. So then I started making more money. And I was just like, how the hell did this happen? And I don't know.
Right.
People, like, they like $5,000 ain't shit, which, you know, it in retrospect, it ain't shit. But if you ain't never had nothing, $5,000 is like game changer. You know what I mean?
$5,000 could cover a lot.
But it opened me up because I never like realized that I was thinking wrong, so I wasn't making the money. Yep. And as soon as I started changing how I thought, I started making way more money. And I was like, that's so crazy. So, bro, big facts, dog. Like, it's all about what you input, like bro, that's why I don't really watch TV like that. Like, it's only a few things I'll watch. And the rest of the time, it's podcasts, it's videos of people talking about success. Because I want to just like absorb everything I can about people being successful so I can like pick up as much as I can.
You had to unleash the power within.
Big facts.
Shout out
I
to
love Tony, dog.
Yeah, shout out to Banana Hands. Sure. Yo, if you seen Shallow Hal, you'll get that reference, bro. That was a funny movie. Tony Robbins was in that movie. Why they call him Banana
Tony's
Hands?
the go, dog.
Facts.
I love Tony Robbins, dog. I got probably every book he done put out except for that finance one. I feel like now I could go back and listen to that and I'll be cool.
Yeah.
But at the time I wasn't feeling it. It was over my head.
Wait, Steve Maddox says this. Oh, this is a good question. How many friends y'all lost since taking your music dead serious? I'm left with 3. Facts. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I lost more friends than I could count. However, the amount of friends I've gained,
that's right,
which are now nothing about nothing disrespectful to the friends I lost, but the amount of friends I've gained have been on a different level because, like you said, once you start taking things dead serious, you start to attract or come around people that also take things really serious. So the quality, depending on what's important to you, the quality of friends goes up. You know what I mean? So the friends I lost, I mean, you know, still cool, whatever. But the friends I gained, oh my God, a lot, whole lot.
I don't think I have any friends that I talk to on a constant basis that aren't in business or the music business.
No.
I don't think I talk to anybody that's not in one of the two.
No.
Like constantly. Everyone, you know, it's like the people that you grew up with and you go, you know, oh, it's good talking to you. You know what I mean? Shoot the shit kind of. But like frequently, everybody's in the music business. Everybody does something creative or they're in like a business and they're like making bread and they're like at a certain point. Because I think after a certain level, it's like if you're being successful and the other person isn't, it's going to be a very weird dynamic of like, oh, you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're ahead of me. And then you're going to be feeling like, oh, I'm the same guy. And it's going to be a weird dynamic.
Yeah. We talked about that on the last show with the subject of you can't save everybody. You know
exactly.
I mean? Same deal, bro. But like you said, business, and whatever else you said. But I did say this when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, it's a fresh start, and I'm not going to hang around the same type of people. Like I made that my business to not hang around the same type of people. Little did I know in Atlanta, it was far easier to find because bro.
Nobody has a job here.
Nobody.
I know more people that's self-employed than I do that have regular jobs.
I have one friend out here that has a regular job. One.
I'm trying to think if I know anybody. It's like a friend of a friend that I know has a regular job. Everybody in Atlanta, bro, does like something creative for the most part.
Yeah. So in Atlanta, it could be Tuesday at 2. You can go anywhere, and it's gonna be a ton of people out.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, shouldn't y'all be at work? And a lot of people look at you like, y'all am at work. And that's the big dopeness about Atlanta.
One of the biggest club nights would be Sunday nights, where everybody else has got to get, they got to go to work and they got to get up super early. Sunday nights would be popping, like turn. Tuesday nights popping. You know what I mean? Times when normal people would not be. Atlanta clubs be full, bro. Like
yeah. Atlanta showed me that the shit that I thought was a stretch is very possible. Like way closer than I thought. Because like you said, you get out here, no one has a job, bro.
Yeah, everybody's just living.
But people out here in Atlanta have a certain type of discipline, even though it's very informal and they some of the most wild country. Well, depending on where you're from, most people ain't from here, but Atlanta's a wild place, but there's an underlying discipline where the wildest people have successful businesses.
They're hustle. Yeah, it's a hustle to everybody.
That's right. Yeah. You killed it. Yeah. The hustle out here it's insane because you look at certain people and you like, wait, what? Like you have a business? Like I see you drunk every night. You twisted, you partying, you doing wild shit. You done probably been to jail a couple times. Still successful business. And I mean successful business.
Out here eating,
that's
bro.
Atlanta.
So they make you think a little differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how many people gonna move to Atlanta after we just said all that, but yeah.
That's facts. Bro, I tell everybody, I had a year where I was in the club at least 300 days out the year.
That's fucking crazy.
At least Monday through Sunday, I was in the club. I mean, I was making money. I was DJing, so it's like it wasn't like I was just in there smoking hookah all day. But like, and you would see the same people, bro. It would always be the same people there every day. You'd be like, "Oh, you're here again." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, people work all day, so it's like, all right, I'm gonna turn up all day. You know what I mean?
It's a land of opportunity, bro. I struggled like shit, and I came to Atlanta, and in 90 days, I made more money than I ever made in my life.
Same here. Same here, bro.
Like 10 times more money than I ever made in my life in 90 days, doing the exact same shit I was doing before I got to Atlanta.
Same. Because I mean, we both from Virginia. I feel like Virginia is a great place. Don't get me wrong. I never, I appreciate where I grew up at, but I feel like when it comes to opportunity and change, especially where I grew up at, you're a little different. You were in Northern Virginia. I was Southern Virginia. DC. Yeah, I'm from Southern Virginia, where it's like change isn't like where I grew up at hasn't changed probably any since I've left, right? And I've left 13 years ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But coming to Atlanta is like everybody's like hip. Everybody's like with the new. Whatever the new is, everybody's with it. You know what I mean? And so it's like you can make money as long as you're willing to work and you're willing to network. People are like, all right, cool. Let them in. You know what I mean? Like give them a shot.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Man, me coming out DJing, like people are like, yeah, give them a shot. I would DJ for free at first, and then after that, you got to pay me.
Yeah.
But I was good. I had the talent to back it up. So it's like, all right, cool. Pay them. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
I was in there.
Okay. So this is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I lost it. This is really good. All right. So, hold on. Fucking touch the shit. Anyway. How do I stop being lazy-minded? I have a studio now and I have time to make music. This is what you do. Make a schedule. I'm going to do this and this between this time and this time. You do that at least 4 things a day. Whether it's I'm going to make drum patterns from 11 to 1 or whatever. Just find 4 things to do every day between a specific time and a specific time. Do that consistently for a week. And it'll get easier. Do it for another week. After 30 days, it'll kind of become a habit. If you can't do that, quit. Give it up.
It ain't for you.
Give it up. You ain't got it. You need to work on yourself. Discipline is tough. It's hard. I mean, we live in America. It's the fattest people in the world because we don't have discipline. A lot of shit goes down in America because we have a lot of freedom, and with a lot of freedom, discipline is not required for a lot of shit. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes people just need to stop doing what they're trying to do and work on themselves to get them to the point where they can do the shit that they were trying to do. So I'm like, yo, just give it up. Give it up for a minute. But yo, you ain't got it. Because think about this. You want it right now. This is probably, I'm assuming that you haven't reached the heights of whatever your dreams are. So you're not going to want it more than you want it now. If you were to come into whatever your let's say it's money, just to make it easy. Let's say it's 100 million. You think you'll have more discipline with 100 million than you will with whatever you got now? You're just going to be
way worse.
You're going to be a way worse version of yourself. So if you can't get the hustle together and the discipline together now, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. No, stop what you're doing and just work on yourself. Work on small things like, I'm just going to do this between this time and try to do that for 30 days. That will help build discipline, because discipline is a muscle. If you don't work it out, you can't think that you can go lift the gym and you ain't never worked out. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just cut it out for a minute.
I mean, I've talked about it a few times, but like the routine that's helped me is anytime I get an idea, I put it in one spot. So I have a to-do list manager, right? Anytime I get an idea or I need to do something, I put it in one spot. Everything goes to one spot. Mm-hmm. And then once a day, I go through and I sort it. And I put it in, I have little folders, I put it in somewhere. And then once a week, I go through everything in the folders, right? And I put dates on stuff. So it's like, oh, I need to get this done by this time. And everything has a priority. So it's got a date, and then I have an order of what it got to get accomplished in. So red means it's like super priority. You know, orange is like kind of if I get to it, whatever. And then blue is like, you know, what if I could get to it, it's great. Mm-hmm. If you think about everything like that, you know what I mean? Like red, I have to get done today. And I try to put 2 or 3 things that's red every day. So long as I do the red stuff, I'm great. You know what I mean? Orange stuff is like, if I get to it. Yeah. And the game, to me, that's been one of the biggest things in my life. That's like got me to do way more stuff. You know, like between me and Oracle, we both run businesses. We both have, well, I'm out the Airbnb business, but we both had Airbnb.
I'm almost out.
Oh, I gotta ask you about that. What day you out? Because I got somebody for you if you know.
Okay.
But you know, we both running sound businesses. We're both producers, both running Airbnbs. You know what I mean? Got other life stuff going on. So to keep all that up, you have to have some kind of organization. And that was like my thing that was messing me up is I had so much going on at once, and I didn't have the organization to like keep up with everything. So I had to learn that. And I was kind of forced into like learning this thing. And now I love it though. Like at first I was like, I hate this. You know what I mean? Like I got to do this stuff every day. But now I realize how much like burden it takes off of me. I'm like, oh, shoot, right.
You see the result. You start to see the results like immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, by the way, I read this and I gotta say, Dr. Love X says, "Hey, I'm sober now."
Yo, shout out to my dog.
Shout out to the dog, bro. Hey, all right. For sure.
Every time I talk to him, he seemed hella like crystal clear, focused, like on it, bro. Like, and
shout out to you, family. Yeah,
I got to shout out. He taught me a lot about stocks. That's where I learned a lot about stocks from.
I can see that.
Dr. Love.
I can see that. Yeah.
Oh, he put me on game and gave me my first little. You know how you got to get that success to like get into something. Mm-hmm. He gave me that first success. He was like, "Yo, you should play this, bro." I made a grip off of that one. I was like, "Oh, bro." So much of a grip. I was like, I'm gonna cash app you. Lunch is on me today, bro. I cashed app him. Lunch, dog. Like, that's real, dog.
Hey, see, that's the type of people you need in your corner, man. For sure.
Right. I'm telling you, everybody I'm around, bro, is talented and they all got something going for themselves.
Hustle.
Everybody. Bro. And if you ain't like that, I don't want to be around you at all.
Yeah, I don't rock with nobody that don't hustle. At all. And I'm not even saying you gotta have a whole bunch of bread or nothing like that. Yeah. As long as you got some hustle about you. Man, we could kick it all day.
Yeah. Facts. I mean, even if you starting off, it's just like, bro, it's just that energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be around that energy of like, if I'm not on it, I need somebody to be like, yo, you need to be on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everybody just kind of feeds off each other.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's dope.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Sauvignon Blanc. Middle shelf.
Chest height.
Chest height.
Chest height. It's not bottom shelf, it's chest height.
It's not top shelf. It's chest height.
Chest height.
Just right.
Chest height just right. There it is.
It's not going to break your pockets.
Nah, it's right here. Yeah. Yeah. When you want to drink medium, say it with your chest.
How do you do that and maintain relationships that are based online? Online is tricky because to be online, you have to be engaged in social media. And that's what my issue is. If y'all notice, I haven't been posting as much, but I'm just trying to keep sane, you know what I mean? And like not be on social media as much. So it's like a balance of, but for me, I guess what helped me is outsourcing some of the stuff.
Yes.
So I don't always, I'm writing the stuff. Like I'll write it and then I give it to my assistant. Hey, schedule this for me.
Scheduling. That's what I was going to get into. Yeah, scheduling.
So I'm not on Instagram, but I'm on Instagram. You know what I mean? And then I have one day I'm going to make a course. I keep saying I'm going to make a course about this, bro. But I have a formula of how I keep up with people. I bookmark certain people. I have a way that I do it. And then I go through and like everybody's stuff, comment on everybody's stuff once a week.
It's pretty genius.
I'm always in the loop. You know what I mean? So I'm always in the loop. I'm always keeping up with people, but I'm not on Instagram. I think if you could figure out how to be on Instagram, but not on Instagram, if that makes sense.
Yep.
You're good.
That's a fact. I'm off, but I'm on 3 times a day. You're going to see them posts. Scheduling goes a long, long way.
Yeah.
Because then you can get on when you want to be on, and you're on just because you're like, all right, this is what I'm doing right now. Not versus like, okay, I gotta. It's nothing worse than feeling like I gotta post something right now because I haven't posted in a long time.
Right.
Like, bro, nah, just schedule it. Just schedule it, man. Shout out to Classic, man. Classic in the building.
Hey, Young Classic. Is he in LA? I think he's in LA right now.
Man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm looking at the community and the people that we shouting out. And a lot of people are from this podcast. I just find that amazing. No matter how many times I see it, it's just amazing, bro.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Ponzu says, y'all making me want to come out there today. My first trip was late last year and it was ridiculously productive. Atlanta's a vibe, bro. I ain't even gonna front. Atlanta's a vibe.
For sure. I think people from Atlanta go to LA and feel that way, and people from LA come to Atlanta and feel that way.
Yeah. Because it's like, you want to get away from home sometimes. LA to me is like, I always have this love for LA. Because it's like, I feel like in LA, I get done in what it would take me 6 months in Atlanta. Yeah, I get done in like 2 weeks in LA. But I think it's because I'm not home. I'm not comfortable. So I'm like, I'm going on the go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have a home vibe. Even though you're comfortable out there in the situations and the places that you be in, you just like, I'm out here to work. It kind of feels like you're at work all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'll stay up for 2 days when I'm in LA. Because it's like, I'm here for a purpose and I only got a certain amount of time. So if I got to get certain stuff done, cool, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
when I'm in Atlanta, it's like, I'm going to go home, guys. Sorry.
LA's a faster pace. It's not like a rushed or anxious pace, but it's more of a constant work feel. Atlanta is like that, but Atlanta has more of a hustler feel. LA has more of a work feel to me, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, that's
and when I think about LA, like I don't know any leisurely living people in LA. Like everybody, the first time I went to LA was to work with Polo. My first time in LA was the day Michael Jackson died. June 25th. Whatever year that was, June 25th.
That's crazy.
And I came in, I've been working with Polo in Atlanta. He went out there and I walk in, it's Game, Chris Brown, Trey Songz. I don't know, it's just mad people there. And everybody's like getting it, like recording, talking business, talking about deals, talking about just very business. And I'm looking at these people like they don't have to be doing none of this. Like they could all just be chilling, doing whatever. And I'm like, everybody out here is like so about their business, and everything is today or tomorrow in LA. Like, yo, come through, pull up right now. Like, let's go.
Get it done.
Yeah, and we're gonna finish it by Friday, and then it's on, you know, it's at a label by this day, and then the next day it's on the radio. You know, that's LA to me. But I never went out LA just to like kick it. I don't want to say with regular people, but I don't know anybody in LA that's not in the music business and that's not a hustler. So when I think of LA, I just think of like constant.
Exactly.
You can't be chilling out there.
That's crazy, bro. I remember the same day Michael Jackson died, I was in the studio with Full Circle.
Oh, shout out to Full Circle.
Bro, I never forget it, bro. I was in the studio with them, and Kessia, she was crying. She was in the booth and we were recording. She started crying. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? Michael Jackson died. So I never forget that day in my life. So when you said that, I was like, bro, that's so crazy, dog. I remember exactly where I was at. That's crazy. I got the shirt on too.
Ah, that's crazy. Dog, I met Full Circle like right after that day. Like, you know, shortly after, because they were in in LA a lot. Yeah, I met them like shortly after that. But yeah, that was crazy. When Michael Jackson died, I think I was on the plane, and this is before Uber was really big, so it was like car service. First of all, man, y'all missed the days of car service. Oh, I'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, so in the car, my driver ain't know nothing about it, and then I get like we right outside the studio, and it's just like cars just lined up all along the street, and I'm like, it's green lights and everywhere, but no one's moving. And then people are just outside of their cars, and people looking like zombies and shit. So I finally get to the studio. It was Chalice. I finally get to Chalice, and I go in and I ask the girl at the front desk, I'm like, what's going on out there? She's like, yo, Michael Jackson died. And I looked above her at a TV in the lobby, and they was just showing that shit on the news because the hospital he was at was not far.
You were
it was right by that joint. So yeah, LA was like super weird, and that was my introduction to LA. The first, he had died like within that hour that I got to the studio. Bro. Yeah, that was my introduction to LA. Within the first hour, Michael Jackson died. That's when I got there.
Damn, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, my introduction to LA was completely different. It was turned, bro. I'm from a small town. The town I grew up in has got 8,000 people in it. So me going to LA, one, was like culture shock. Two, my first hour in LA, I was in parties. It was like stuff that I seen. I was like, this is crazy. I don't know where I am. I don't know how I got here, but this is lit, bro. And the crazy thing, the first people that got me to LA is he be in the chat. His name's Swerving for the Fans, Irv.
Oh yeah, I know Irv. Yeah,
Irv is the first person that took me to LA. His very first person. Yeah,
I got an Irv story, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah. Shout out to them. They did Womanizer for Britney Spears. That's when I like. Because they were popping, bro. Like, they just did Womanizer, you know what I mean? Like, coming off that record. And then I went to LA with them. And, man, I learned a lot, bro. I learned a whole lot in that situation.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Irv. I ain't know Irv from a can of paint, but you know how you can tell somebody they know a lot of people that you know and that they cool. So at the condo, you remember the condo?
Oh, yeah.
I met Irv on Instagram, but we just knew a lot of the same people. So Irv was in town. Oh yeah, he was in town in Atlanta. And he's like, yo, I want to come through. So I'm like, this is somebody from Instagram. I'm like, bet, come through. I ain't really know. Irv came through, and I loaded up some sounds, and he just started going crazy on my equipment.
Oh yeah, he fired, bro.
He went ham, and he was like a kid in a candy store. He's like, oh shit, because I had like 1 million drums loaded up at one time. Man, Irv sat in that joint. He made like 8 joints. In like 20 minutes.
Fired, bro.
He just went ham.
Dean, K. Briscoe, like they were like the ones that showed me the way. You know what I mean? Like I had never witnessed any of that. I was lucky, bro, because when I came in, I got to see all of these people being successful. I got to see B. Cox being successful. I got to see K-Fam being successful. I got to see the Outsiders. You know what I mean? So it's like I start understanding like, oh, this is what it takes. This is what you got to do to make it in music. You know what I mean? Like you got to make this many records. You got to do this. And to me, that set the foundation. Like I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm in here.
That's what
I know what to do.
Man. So wait, real quick. I gotta tell my car story.
Oh, yeah.
My car service story. for people that miss car service before Uber was popping, if you happen to collaborate with a big producer or something, and they wanted you to come out, they get your ticket, all that stuff.
Right.
And a car would pick you up from the airport. What I used to do, because once I first realized what a play this was, I would be on the plane. A lot of times I would get a first class seat. And you just start building with people that got like businesses. So you meet people in fashion, you meet people in all types of stuff. And you're like, yo, I want to kick it with you, have lunch with you, or whatever. And they're like, yeah, okay, kind of cool, whatever. You all get off the plane together though. And then they see a person standing there with your name. You know how you hold the name, have the card, you hold the name, and they're like,
old school.
Oh shit, this person's here for you. And then they get shit. Oh man, let me give you your card. Let me give you my card or whatever. Because chances are you're going to be getting into like a Benz or a Sprinter or like they never, because producers in LA flex, so they never send like a whack car for you. It's going to be something like
Uber X or above, you know what I mean?
If somebody had a Maybach, they might send, if the Maybach was free, they might send somebody to pick you up in a Maybach or whatever. And with that, people would, like I said, give me their business cards, and then I would just have lunch with them during the day because nobody was working in music during the day like that for real. And then you just get to go and build with people in different industries. And I would and I could ask them a whole bunch of questions. And because they see me get picked up in a fancy car and all that shit, they thought I was somebody. So they just give all the gems, all the gems in the world. So shout out to the car service. The car service gives you a look, or gave you a look. And that way people will build with you, and they will, they live in the hills. They're like, oh yeah, just come through the crib or whatever. Where on the plane, they might've been a little reluctant.
Right.
Yeah, they see you get picked up in that crazy car. Dog, all access, and you go to their houses, and you know how them houses in the hills be.
Oh, bro,
you don't know what you gonna walk into,
bro.
Yikes,
bro! I'm telling you, I tell people I went to LA. I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and I ended up being there for 2 years, or about a year and some change. Bro. I just never left, bro. Stuff just kept happening. I was like, yeah, all right, I'm here. You know what I mean?
That's LA, bro.
Good times.
That's a fact.
And then too, how you meet people, bro, determines a lot. That's like what people sleep on, bro. Like people don't take into account of if I'm like spamming. That's why we tell people don't spam links. Like if you spamming links, your idea of that person is gonna be like, oh, this person needs me.
Desperate.
Even if you don't necessarily think that, subconsciously you're thinking that. But if you meet somebody in a situation where they're already doing good, you know what I mean? And they don't need you. And then you meet them, the respect is different. And it's just how humans are. You know what I mean?
People are more inclined to help someone that doesn't look like they need help.
It's weird, bro. It's just like how influencers get more free stuff, even though most of the time, if you're an influencer, you don't need free shit.
Yep.
You have the money to buy it, but that's who gets the free stuff. You know what I mean? It's the same concept. And so that's why it's like, bro, like a lot of times in LA and all this stuff is like, or even in Atlanta, like, it's like how you meet somebody. That's why I would go out to these events. I would do certain stuff for free. Like I would DJ certain stuff for free, but I want to be in these circles. And I would do whatever I could to get in these circles. Mm-hmm. And then once I got there, it's like, all right, cool, I'm here. You know what I mean? You got to respect me differently. So then when the opportunity comes, it's like, all right, cool. It's a different conversation rather than I'm just the little guy who's in the corner hoping to get a shot,
Right. Like, who this over there? Bro, it's amazing. It's super amazing. Let's see.
I didn't expect today to go into this talk, but hey.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We just we went in. We went in today. Hold on. I know we got more questions. I think
let's see, LA got the same competitiveness as New York City. See, I can't really talk on New York. To be honest, the only time I've been in New York is Busy had an event. Shout out to Young Busy Works Beats. Mm-hmm. Me and Oracle was drunk as hell.
Facts. 100%.
We missed the flight, got there late, and we were there for a solid 24 hours. I turned up the entire 24 hours.
Bruh.
Came
right in the morning at the Korean barbecue spot.
Bruh, we was lit, bro. The whole day, bro.
Somebody had the nerve to give us a bottle of homemade, what was it, whiskey?
Or
a bottle of,
about that.
It was something wild.
Yeah,
bro.
It was whiskey. Yeah. And I came to your room, got me a cup to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't talk about the New York work because I haven't spent enough time in New York to actually get the feel.
It's just as It's different. It's just as hustlery, just as competitive as LA, but it's
I feel like it would be
different.
more. Yeah, I feel like it'd be more hustler. Like New York, when I think of New York, I think of everybody's on their grind. Like it is just.
It's weird. It's weird. New York hustle is like a darker version of LA hustle, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
It's a grimy hustle. Not saying everybody from New York is grimy, but it's more of a ground level, just like grimy hustle. And I will say, in LA, the people you see hustling, they kind of got their shit together a little bit. In New York, everybody's hustling. Little kids is hustling. Like, and they might not have their shit together at all, but they still like super hustling. Yeah, New York is crazy. I spent a lot of time in both places. I started in New York, but I spent years and years and years and years in New York. I prefer. Actually, I view them both the same. I wouldn't want to live in either one. They're cool to visit, but I'm burnt out on both LA and New York for almost a lifetime, to be honest with you, unless it's something serious going on. But I mean, hey, both of them made me who I am today, for sure.
That's how I feel about Miami. Miami is not a place I would want to live, but
no,
I learned a lot working out of there. You know what I mean? But living there, no, I'm cool.
Yeah.
LA, I miss it, bro. I ain't gonna front. I love LA. LA and me get along great just because of the vibes. I skateboard, I'm vegan, and I make music. It's a lot of,
and the weather's good.
We got a lot of stuff culturally aligned in that situation. Atlanta, I mean, it's the same way. I do the same stuff out here too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's between New York and LA, I'm picking Atlanta. Atlanta's my vibe. It's cool for me. It's a different LA and a different New York.
Now that I got a kid, yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I was single out here, Triz, I'd be in LA. But now that I have a kid, I'd much rather raise my daughter in Atlanta than LA.
Facts.
Now to live, no question.
To live like a single, like let's turn up and work and hustle life, I definitely choose LA over New York. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and no shade to LA. You know what I mean? I'm sure LA is great. It's just expensive. That's my main thing with LA.
Both of them, New York and LA. Expensive as hell.
Bro, that shit ain't no joke. Atlanta, bro, you can live like a king for the low. Oh. That's why I like it.
Bro, facts. Somebody said, can I ask a random question? Are you guys on a certain theme? I don't know if they mean with this conversation, but apparently we are.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't planned. It just kind of happened that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve says darker version for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah, we going on. We going in on this joint. Yeah.
Tennessee whiskey. Ooh, sounds great.
For sure.
I was about to skateboard and give me some bourbon because the Oracle done inspired me to get some, but I've been sipping on the barefoot.
Hey man,
chest height.
Listen, I was telling Triza about something on I think it's Amazon Prime or Hulu, one of the two. It's called Neat, and it is the history of bourbon. Amazing, very well shot. You learn a lot of things. Bourbon is very interesting. Whether you're into alcohol or not, it is a very interesting watch, for sure.
Let's see. You're in, he says, I'm in downtown LA. I love LA. Yo, LA's a vibe. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
I love it. If I could be anywhere, my ideal thing is to be bi-coastal, have a crib in LA, have a crib in Atlanta, go back and forth. I would be great. That would be perfect for me. It's just the flights and the Rona. It's mostly the Rona.
Yeah. Moving around and being bi-coastal ain't really the vibe right now, but yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't mind something in LA.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a crib in Miami, but I'm just afraid that shit gonna get washed away.
Yeah, I didn't like Miami, bro. And I was there a lot. I didn't like it. I didn't really care for it like that. But two, I was only there to work. Every time I would go to Miami, I was there to work. So I have a different view. LA, I would go to hang out and work. You know what I mean? And I was there for so long.
Yeah.
Like I would be at Runyon every day. I would be, you know what I mean? I was like living the LA life. So my viewpoint of LA is way different than it was Miami. Maybe if I did a lot of the stuff in Miami, it would be different.
Yo, Miami, yeah, I'm kind of like that with Miami. I don't really like, I've never been there not working, except for okay, maybe when I was like 22. I remember my first encounter with Miami was with a record label. Like me, King Los, a few other people down there for Memorial Day. Like just it was unfair how I got introduced to Miami. It was stunt fest. It was Memorial Day weekend, and we was just with the right people, and so we was like the men in Miami at that time.
Right.
But then after that, it was years later. All I knew is Hit Factory, Tim's House, a hotel on Biscayne, and whatever that mall was where I used to go with J-Rock. I knew nothing else about Miami, bro.
What's that mall?
Aventura.
Yeah, Aventura. That's
Aventura. Man, damn. Shout out to J-Rock. Used to go to Aventura and have me buy $100 Joe Malone candles.
Oh shit.
Yo, at first of all, I was like, okay, $100 candle sounds ridiculous to me. And I've never been able to afford a $100 candle until like probably about that time. But the $100 still hurt at the time.
Right.
But I'm like, damn, these smell. Yo, J-Rock put me onto a lot of shit that was a little more upscale than I was currently in my life, in my lifestyle. But it made me step it up more and try to grind more to earn more money.
You need that. You need to get the little stuff where you be like, bro, I didn't even think people had that.
I'm like $100 on the candle, and it's not a big candle, bro. It's a fairly small candle.
Oh, bro. Speaking of candles, shout out to my dog Ayo. Ayo, the producer, bro.
I saw that.
He's got a candle, and it's called, the scent is Smells Like a Hit. I saw that. I said, bro, you're a genius, dog. Genius. That is a genius idea. So if you're if you're a candle person, go shop with my bro Ayo. Get a candle. It's a genius idea. Support, support business. I always love a great idea where it's like a concept and you be like, bro, I should have thought of that. Yeah. That was one of the moments where I was like, damn it, I should have thought of that.
Smells like, I saw that joint. All he had to do was show the picture of the candle with the title with the label on the candle. I was like, wow.
Yeah, whoa. Smart business move.
Yeah. I might have caught one of those.
Yeah, I'm about to place an order.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm not about no more Joe Malone candles.
Let's see. I think we need more blacks to live in places like Utah or Milwaukee. I haven't been to either, so I can't really say.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I've been to Utah.
Really?
Yeah, for like 2 months I was in Grand Junction, Colorado, and we would go to Utah on some random stuff. I was working on an album, dog, on some random stuff. This guy had made all this money from Google. He had sold his company to Google, wanted to get in the music business. And so me and one of my good friends, he paid us to go stay in Colorado for like 2 months and work on this girl's artist. She was like Miss Canada, and we did her project. And so we would have to go to Utah like a couple of days out the week because they're like right there.
Oh shit.
But where I was at, it was like nowhere, bro. Like nowhere, Utah. It was like, wow.
Yeah. It was cacti.
No, it was like to the point I would walk in Subway and people would gasp. Like, black people. That kind of wild. Like where I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like this is a little weird. But I'm sure not everywhere is like that. Yeah. I don't think.
All right. So, okay. I'm not saying I don't know how truthful this is, but I've never heard this take. And it starts with, truth is, most black men don't move to LA because they're scared of the gang violence that Hollywood paints. No. I don't think so, bro. Like, I don't know anybody that's scared of gang violence.
And I ain't gonna front. I went to the hood. When I first went to LA, I went to the hoodest of hoods, and they were all very respectable to me. And I think it's because I respected what they had going on. I'm not out there trying to do anything that I'm not. I'm not into any kind of gang stuff. I didn't grow up in that kind of way. You know what I mean? And I respect what they do. I'm not, I'm not down in what they do. And I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just respectable. Like, everybody, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you good? All right, cool.
Yeah.
And as long as you respecting people, as long as you respecting people, they super cool. Like, I never had issues in LA. Everybody's been super cool. Everybody's like been, 100.
So somebody says, I'm from West Jackson. No gang violence, plenty of violence though. Now that true,
That's
but
different.
in knowing what I know, like LA doesn't have any more violence than most major places. Like I've lived in, you know, I'm from Virginia. I lived in DC for a bit. DC is pretty violent. Don't sleep. Maryland and Virginia at one point, very violent. I've lived in the Bronx, violent. Been to LA, not more violent than the places that I just mentioned. Like not even close.
Yeah, that's real.
Not close. Yeah.
Oh, bro, we got to shout out Tony Versati. He said, "You're welcome for the whiskey." Shout out to the homie Tony.
That was
bro.
Tony Versati.
Shout out. Hey, that whiskey was part of an epic night, bro.
That shit was twisky.
Dog, I wowed that whole night, bro.
Yeah, yo, it was. Thank you, bro.
It was 24 hours of wilding.
Dog, I mean, when I tell you, he brought it in the bottle that says, like, nah, you can't buy this in the store. There's no way you can get this in the store. This is some real deal. Like,
that was a good night.
Whew, man, hey, yo, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun. 24 hours, bro. Me and Oracle get on the flight and we return. We get to LA. No, I'm sorry. We went to New York. Did the busy event. That was great. My daughter just walked. Hi, Logie.
Hi, Daddy.
What you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Daddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Be good. Can you close my door?
Yeah, okay.
Young Logie.
Yeah. Close the door, please.
Okay, Daddy.
Thank you.
Hey, yo, spam the hearts. Spam the hearts for young Logan. Spam them, man. Spam them.
Yeah, we got to New York a little bit late. We did Busy's event. We was lit the whole time. You know, Busy's event was popping when they had grilled cheese sandwiches in cubes.
That the cheat. Yo, when somebody brings you cubed up grilled gourmet cheese sandwiches on wooden tray, like gourmet, like artisan wood trays, it was fancy. It was super fancy.
So and then we went to a Korean spot like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then we continued to drink. Well, I continued to drink after that.
I did too. Both our phones died, by the way. At the Korean spot in the middle of New York at 2 a.m. We couldn't call an Uber or nothing, bro. Couldn't call an Uber or no, yo, wait. Remember homeboy at the club tried to tell Zulu Child he should be a stripper?
That was wild. That was I wasn't gonna bring that up, but that was wild.
No, I'm bringing that shit up. That was
wild, dog. No, we're here for a production event, though. We're here talking about music production. And this dude was trying to convince Zulu to be a stripper. I'm like, bro, where am I at, dog? Like,
first he thought he was a ball player, and then he tried to convince him to be a stripper. I was dying, cuz.
That was a fun night, bro. I ain't gonna front. As soon as this Rona's over, I'm trying to pull up to New York, trying to pull up to Africa. I'm trying to pull up to LA, Miami. Because them events would be the funnest.
Oh man, and we met at Sending Keys, and he still had on. Oh wait, I see Zulu Child. He in here, bro. He's in here. I just seen his avatar.
DJ 912 says, "What, bro?
Dog.
Yeah, bro.
Wait,
New York was wild, bro. That was a wild. That whole chain of events was wild.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Zulu Child said, "Wait, what, bro? You don't remember homeboy? He was working at the club.
He was at the door." He's like the door guy.
At the door. And he, I guess he worked at a strip club too. He's an older dude. And he told Zulu Child he should be a stripper.
It was wild. Man. Yeah, I remember that. Dying. And remember, dog, on the flight there, Monique was on the flight with us. Was she on the flight or she was going through security?
She was going through security. This is Monique, the comedian. By the way.
I got stopped because I had a Polaroid. Word to the wise, if you have a Polaroid camera, they're going to stop you every time because there's something in the film that shows up and they're going to check your shit. Yeah. So they check my shit and Monique goes like, "Hey, it's okay, baby. You so sweet," and all this. So we like, "Yo, this is random."
I gotta find that video. I taped that whole thing where you was getting stopped by TSA and with Monique in the line. I got all that on video somewhere on one of my old phones.
Then we were drinking with all these random people and we missed our flight. That was great.
Yeah.
Beside the gate.
The Zulu Child said, "I vaguely remember that now." Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Him, Sandman was there. I think Beast
Music was there.
Beast Music was definitely there. Man, what Punina was there? Chambers was there. Yo, mad people was at that joint.
That was a good time, bro. That was one of my favorite events we've ever done.
Yeah. That was nuts. That was nuts. Hey, Busy, you gotta redo that same event in New York, and we're gonna come in the same capacity.
Not as fancy.
No,
that one was a little fancy. I was like, bro,
it was super fancy. Somebody asked a question. Let me post it real quick. Where y'all from? Hey,
VA shouty.
VA shouty. That's a fact. Both of us are from Virginia and currently reside in Atlanta.
Oracle's from Northern Virginia. I'm from Southern Virginia.
That's a fact. And somewhere in the middle is a part of Virginia that we don't care about.
Yeah.
Yep. They call that Fredericksburg or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big fact.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on. All right. I know we got more questions. How much time has it been? Has it been 2 hours yet?
Yeah, it's 5:58.
Yeah, we about to wrap this up in a minute. Let's see. Because I'll sit here and tell stories all night at this point.
Man.
Wow. Hold on. Let me get to a joint. Okay, this is a decent question right here. All right. When starting out, should I have my music and gaming content on the same page, IG, YouTube, Twitch, etc., or should I have them on separate accounts? Hold on. Wait a minute. The question is long. I had to click here to read more. Sorry. Boom. And I'm gonna end up starting the question over because I think this one might be a little clip. This might be a clip. All right. Well, we'll just leave it there. The person asked,
Sure.
When starting out, should I put my music and my gaming on the same page? And he said YouTube, IG, Twitch, etc., or should I put them on separate platforms? I would ask you, are they related to each other in any type of way? If they somehow are related to each other or complement each other to your audience, I will put them on the same page. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, I do music, I do production. I also do a little bit of coding, but it's kind of like music coding. So to me, I could put those on the same page because people see what I do with music and then they'll see me coding. And if I'm doing music coding, it presents me as an authority, at least to the point where, like, all right, if it's a technical question, this guy will probably have the answer because he has technical knowledge. But now, if they don't complement each other at all, have nothing to do with your audience, and just are totally separate in general, I will put them on separate pages. And he also asked, if you put them on separate pages, should he just do like his name / music and his name / gaming? Right. I think it just depends on how intertwined they are, because I think if both of them are dope and if your goal kind of engulfs both of those things, then I will put them both on the same page to give people a better picture of who I am totally as a human being. But if they are totally
BRB.
Okay. No doubt. If they are totally oil and water, I would personally separate them. So it really depends on your goal, man. And each of those things, even if you kept them together, each of those things is kind of more conducive to the other side. Like, for instance, to me, music is getting on Twitch now, but Twitch is still more conducive to gaming to me, whereas IG would be more conducive to music instead of the gaming. But if you found an interesting way, okay, here's what you could do. If you found an interesting way to bridge the two, like, for instance, if you found a way to incorporate your gaming with your music and vice versa, then you could actually put them everywhere together. So it kind of just depends on what you got going on. But I say if it makes people see you as a more well-rounded human being while not being too different, man, put them on the same thing, Let's see. Do you know mixing engineers that are good at mixing stacked cello tracks like vocals? I sure do, bro. Young Realistic Productions. Come on, man. It's the most awesome engineer in the game. He's right here with soundoracle.net. If you really are looking for that and you need services, hit soundoracle.net and just click on services at the top and click on mixing services. You'll see everything that we offer. But yeah, my man is dope. My man is super dope. By the way, by show of hearts, how many people in this chat are on Twitch. And after the hearts, I have a question for the rest of the chat. But I know Twitch is like the move right now. A lot of people twitching out there. But I just want to know how many people are actually on Twitch, or is it just like the bigger people? And I got time. I'll take a sip. I'll take a sip while I wait. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got quite a few people in here that are on Twitch. What do you all? Okay, yeah, we got a few. What do you all do on Twitch besides watch? Like, I'm talking about people that actually do something on Twitch for other people to watch. I'm curious as to what you do, because when I see Twitch, it's usually like bigger name people that I see that are actually bigger name music people that are actually like cooking up and doing things. But I don't see Twitch as like, you know how like IG, you see everybody making beats, everybody doing everything on IG. And with Twitch, it just seems to be bigger name people doing certain things. So I just want to know, is anybody in here, not saying that your name isn't big enough, you know what I'm saying though, is there anybody in here that actually does stuff like cook up live on Twitch or anything, even just talking, you know, talking to the viewing audience? I'm just curious at how y'all twitching out there.
You know what's crazy about that question is that he had about the Twitch thing is that I had the same question, and I have it in my notes to ask Busy.
Really?
I literally have it on my to-do list. It says, ask Busy, should I make different YouTube channels or just make one group one, right?
Hold on. Not to cut you off, but I think Busy might have asked that question, to be honest with you.
Bro?
Busy submitted 3 questions, and I don't think they were questions that he, you know, Busy, I think Busy just contributing to the show. I don't think these are questions he necessarily needed to answer to, but these might have been questions he heard or questions he thought was interesting. But I'm looking at a couple of these questions, and I know Busy sent a few, so that might have been his. But anyway, please.
Bro, I swear, if you look at my to-do list, I have that as to ask Busy that, and I have it set for today, which is hella ironic. And because my issue, right, with content, right, is that even though I get the separation, 2 YouTube channels is 2 different jobs. You get what I'm saying? You got to treat it like that. So that's where my issue was. Is it better to like put everything in one channel and be consistent, or is it better to separate them and then have to worry about 2 jobs? So that's kind of where I was at, where I'm like, I don't know on myself where I should go.
Would you mix the music with the gaming at all?
See, ideally, no, I wouldn't, right? But then if I look at a lot of people that I watch, bro, their YouTube be everything. It's more about who they are than it is about what they're doing. So that's where I always get confused at. It's like some of these people I watch, they do vlogs, they do pranks, then they'll do like gaming stuff, and they do it all on the same channel. And I don't, bro, until I start thinking about it for myself, I never batted an eye at that they did hella shit on their YouTube and never thought about it any kind of way.
So it wasn't like jarring, like, oh man, you doing this today, and then now you doing this. It was just kind of like, oh, this is who homie or homegirl is, right?
Exactly. So I never thought about that way until I started trying to figure out for myself, like, you know, how should I play this? And then it was kind of like, oh man, all these people do all this other stuff. And you know what I mean? And then they don't even think about it. They don't separate it or anything. It is a couple people I watch, they do separate it. But for the most part, it's, yo, you get one channel, you get everything on here, and I'm going to drive you to this one thing. So that's kind of where I was like kind of stuck at.
Well, I think like, okay, for somebody like you, but because I know you.
Right.
I think you could pull off putting them both on the same channel, because you have a Triz like demeanor to you. Like no matter what you're doing, it just feels like I'm talking to Triza or I'm watching. Oh, damn, I put on my start bar. It feels like I'm talking to Triza or I'm watching Triza. Right. So what you're doing wouldn't really matter that much. Whereas somebody else, I could see it mattering more. I think with you is more, and plus you already have like kind of a personal brand. That's the thing too. If you want to be a personal brand, then yeah, let people know everything that you're into. But if you're trying to establish a gaming brand, a music brand, or you know, like it's more about what you're doing and less about who you are, then I would separate them. But for somebody like you, the music and the gaming, because you're gonna bring the same type of sauce to both of them. And I feel like you might talk about both of them. Like you'll talk about music shit kind of as you're gaming, and you might talk about gaming shit as you're doing music.
Yeah. For me, it's more about building the Triza brand than it is the gaming or the music. That's
can
what I
see
care
you
about
doing
the
both.
most.
Yeah. I think you could gumbo that thing up and it'll be better off for you versus. Also, you're not new to this. You know a lot. Somebody that's new, maybe the separation of the two might be better.
Yeah, that was when he asked that question. I was like, damn, I ain't gonna front. I had that same question, bro. Because for me to be consistent, I feel like I gotta simplify everything in the content game. Like I'll do good for a second and then I'll fuck up because I got so much other stuff going on in my life. I gotta, tend to that. So me having 2 channels, I know that's spelling disaster. That's not gonna work well for me. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, is it smart to do that? Yeah. And it's crazy he asked that because I literally had that on my to-do list to ask Busy that exact question because I know Busy is the YouTube guru. You know what I mean?
Well, wait, Busy did not. He's not the one that asked that question.
Okay,
but yeah, that's still a very, very good question. Me personally, I'm like, it's more about I want to present who I am as a person and like the full gambit of what I know and what I can do and what I'm about. So I want you to see all that shit in one place.
Right.
But that's just me personally. It works out better like that.
Big facts. Good question though.
Yeah, that's a good question. See, not yet. I guess it's in response to our people on Twitch. Not yet. Definitely trying to start doing beats live on Twitch. Yeah,
I think we should get on Twitch, man. It's just the setup.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah,
I think I'm. That's part of the reason I was talking about getting a gaming PC, just because streaming on the Mac, it's not bad, but it ain't great. It ain't where I want it to be. Because I think the issue that I have is I've seen the top of the top, so I know what it's supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to add all these graphics and do all this stuff. And then me trying to do it on my computer, which I built for making beats on and not for video stuff.
Not working.
You know what I mean? That's the way I bought it. I'm like, with Mac, you got to buy it how it is. So I bought it for like, all right, I'm only going to make beats. I didn't think about editing video at all. And so, for what I bought it for, it works great. But for like streaming and stuff, it's not the greatest.
Yeah. PC is definitely going to come in because it got the power and it'll be cost effective. If you want to do it like for a specific reason, that's not a big reason. You're like, damn, it's not a big reason. So I don't want to spend big money. Yeah, PC is the way to go. Yeah.
Steve Maddox says, fine line between creating dynamic content and alienating your current support base. It's a tricky move. That is facts. That's where I'm always kind of stuck on it.
I think when people say, should I do, both in the same place, I would urge you to analyze how much you do of which, because it could be a very lopsided thing. Like you could have 8 gaming videos for every music video, because I feel like it's more fun and I don't want to say easier, but yeah, it's easier to make to play a game or to talk about gaming. So you could do more of those versus making a beat. You might not be feeling it, or you might not like the beat, or just whatever. And I feel like a lot of people that try to get into that is going to be really lopsided.
Yeah.
And you'll be known for one thing. You'll be the music guy with occasional gaming videos or vice versa.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, especially, me speaking for myself with the content struggles, that I've had, is that I don't know exactly what I want to do content-wise. And I think that's my issue. Like, I know I don't want to do tutorials. And not, again, it's not nothing against doing tutorials, people who do tutorials. It just, when I look at tutorials, I look at them like, I want to watch that, but I don't want to do that. Every time I see it, it's like, I don't want to, because I don't feel like that's like my steez of like that structure and all that. But if it's like talking or just kind of freestyling stuff, I could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Gaming stuff, I feel like I could do that. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to play to my strong suit so I could keep consistent. And yeah. Hey, if y'all figure it out, y'all let me know too, because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn myself.
Wait, Fictionalized says, Triza, I really like your reaction videos on YouTube. Will you be doing more of them?
The issue that I have with reaction videos is that in production, it's not many new stuff that happens. Like this week in production news, nothing really happened at all, right? So that's why I kept messing up at, is that I would be trying to do production related reaction videos of music related reaction videos. And it would be weeks where nothing would happen. So I'm like waiting and I'm trying to find stuff and it's like nothing's happening. So I'm thrown off of my schedule. So that's kind of what led me to that crisis of like, do I do other stuff and then just be known as someone who produces but does other stuff? You know what I mean? Or do I just go all the way in on the music thing?
That's a fact.
That's kind of my conundrum that I'm in right now.
Ooh, conundrum. I wish I had the air on for that jump. Steve Maddox says PCs used to be cost effective until they started charging $2,000 for a graphics card alone. That might be. Nah, you could do better. What I usually do, because graphic cards will jack the price of a PC up. But I'm not doing any intense gaming, even moderate gaming like the joint that I got. I'm super straight on. But graphics cards, I'm not really into that. I'm looking at Ableton or like Chrome all day. I don't need a graphics card. So I'll usually get something with a lower power graphics card. But I don't know if you were here for when we did the show or when I was talking about the computer that I currently have. But I mean, 32 gigs of RAM, 4 gigabytes of onboard storage, just a whole bunch of shit. But that alone, and plus, it's a quad core, which is cool. But it cost me about, I think, $1,500, $1,600, something like that. I think it was $1,500. But I skimped on the graphics card because I don't really need one. You know what I mean? It's like getting a 4K TV and you just watching like bullshit. You don't need that. So yeah, just get one with a lower power graphics card and you'll be in the game. And you can get something dope for around $1,000, $1,200. You can get something dope that's gonna last you for maybe 4 years at least.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I got to make a decision because, my computer is cool. It does what it needs to do. But graphics card and all that stuff, I know I could do better when it comes to gaming. Bro, I have a whole. This is what this is for. Is for gaming. I'm sure if you're on YouTube, you looking confused. But on Instagram, you see the green screen.
Yeah.
That's why I had all this stuff, and I just never use it because I didn't have the right setup. So one day I'm getting it together.
It's coming through, man. You just gotta invite me to your next reaction video.
Hey, November, I got time, cuz.
Yeah, exactly.
November, I got time, cuz. I'm figuring all this stuff out November.
No, we got the plan, bro. We gotta stick to the plan. Yeah.
Today, I got time, cuz.
You gotta be cut from a different cloth to be the kind of person who wants to do tutorials. That is a fact, bro. I am not that person. Shout out to Realistic who does tutorials for my website, soundoracle.net. He's a beast at it. He is that type of person. Shout out to BusyWorks Beats. He's a beast at it. He's that type of person. I am not the tutorial guy. Y'all would get one tutorial from me and I wouldn't do another one.
I'm like, all right, I'm cool.
Yeah, I did that one. It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it a couple of times. I was like, this is not for me. This is not something I could keep up with.
Yeah. Steve Maddox says technical dudes love tutorials. I would say that was true, but I'm one of the most technical people I know, and I do not like doing tutorials.
I feel like there's certain people that like teaching.
Yes.
Like even if like Busy, if you talk to Busy on the phone, he's going to try to teach you something. That's his nature. Realistic, I feel like the same way.
Yes.
I could teach you, I can, but it's not my go-to thing. I feel like cracking jokes and being entertained is like my go-to thing, and then teaching is secondary. And that's how I feel about YouTube stuff. I just want to do something that I can be consistent with.
Yeah.
Like even my reaction videos is me like cracking jokes all day. Like every video that I've done that's gone somewhat viral has been me cracking jokes. The
Comedy
Native
channel.
Instruments one that me and you did, it's us cracking jokes. It's literally like, all right, we're gonna be us and talk shit, and then that's it.
Our Machine Mark II reaction video is internet history. That is internet history. That was a great time. The calls that we got from that, it's history. Fictionalized. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it's before like people really start doing reaction videos. That was like early internet joint.
That's what made it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And we just sat and did it. We didn't think anything of it. We didn't set out to do that. We just did it. And then next thing you know, call from the UK, call from Texas, call from this person, call from that person. The big wigs. It's like, hey, saw you guys' video. Either I hated it, we loved it because you talked about the competition. It was just, it was wild, bro. Yeah, it was wild. Shout out to what's homie name? Damn, I forgot his
Oh,
name.
God, what's his name?
Oh man, I don't know. I
I know
forgot
he
his
had all
name.
green. Yeah, I forgot his name too.
I want to call him Simon, but that's not his name. I don't want to disrespect him. Shout out to Nadine, though. That's who reached out from the company.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nadine. Anyway, Fictionalized has a good point. She says, I think do whatever you feel like doing, and your fans will watch whatever they like from you. That's true. I think you have to have a personality that is consistent across the board, because sometimes people are doing something that they're better at than another thing, and you can see the difference in their personality or their confidence level.
That's
Only
true.
certain people can pull off doing multiple things on the same platform and look consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, man. Okay, bro. We are at 2 hours and 16 minutes. Do you want to tackle some more questions, or you want to cut it like OT Genesis?
Producerkid.com. Go get Ultimate 3. Ultimate 3 contest is going on right now. You want a chance to win a keyboard and a collab with Grammy Award winning producer Diego Ab. If you buy the kit, post it, use the hashtag. And Oracle, what you got coming up?
Man, listen, well, first of all, get Cassette Drums too. Yesterday was the last day to get the $20 gift card that came with Cassette Drums too. However, if you're listening on this show, if you copy it this weekend, you will still get the gift card, because I'm just feeling like that right now. Also, coming up starting Monday, listen, go to my bio right now. Well, after this show, sign up for the early bird list for the art of vocal mixing. It is the most epic course ever released by anybody ever in the history of whatever. Now, honestly, it's a dope course. Over 150 videos, over 14 hours of comprehensive yet easy to understand bite-sized chapters on how to mix vocals just like the legends do. And I'm not even joking. This is not a sales pitch. I'm trying to tell you, it will get you at legendary status. Like, it's gems, secrets, hacks, all that. Early bird purchases start Monday, so you want to sign up this weekend. The first 100 people get it at that reduced price and also get a $50 gift card. All you got to do, sign up on the list. You'll get that email Monday morning. You'll get 4 or 5 days before everybody else to cop. After the first 100 people cop, price goes up, and that's all she wrote, man. So the art of vocal mixing coming next week.
Yeah. When I say that course is crazy,
my dog.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I low-key need to go through and my November, December, my plan is to just write records and make beats all day. That's my plan. So I'm gonna need to get my vocal mixing right. So I'm gonna be checking out the course, you know what I mean? Get my levels balanced, my reverbs tight, you know what I mean?
Yes,
my
sir.
delays delaying, you know what I mean? All of that good stuff.
pushing them back. Well, listen, man. As always, we enjoyed you. As always, we went an hour over the time that we thought we were going to go over. And it's because we love you guys, man. It's been a great show. It's been another episode of UnQuantized Podcast, and we will